All right, microphone check 1 2 1 2. It's us with some D&D coming for you. Cue the intro. Hello once again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Idiots Rolling Dice. We have a fun little Saturday session headed up for you. Vex is going to be taking over as Dungeon Master tonight for another episode of Monster Hunters Wanted. If I didn't introduce myself, I'm Mimic the Idiot. I'm playing somebody new tonight that we have not met in the campaign so far. Joined by some special people. Starting first, Miss Daisy Cakes.
Hi, I'm Daisy. I am going to be playing Miss Forrest once again for Monster Hunters, and ready to get back in there and see about this new person.
Next up, Mr. Play the Fool.
Hello, I'm Play the Fool. I'm playing Zephyr once again. Just hoping to make more money and not die.
And
Not dying.
as I said, dungeon
Not die.
mastering for us tonight is Mr. Vex.
Hello. I'm gonna try to kill you all. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, you're going to try and kill us all.
I have so
Yeah.
many characters to play. I won't feel that bad about this one.
Alright, cool. Bet. 'Cause I made this encounter kind of a little bit too hard. I'm too far in with the story thread of this one to turn back at this point.
Hey, you know what? I'm already gone.
Alright. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
Alright, so everybody, we're back in Varakia, the good old days of monster hunting. If they will ever go away or not, who the fuck? After last time we visited this continent.
Yeah, you learned of the threat of the micro penisians.
Yes.
You're muted, Daisy. Maybe. Or maybe you're just mouthing something. Oh, she went away.
She's dead. She's gone.
Oh, been driving on this road too long.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Was that for me? And I missed it. Sorry.
No, I was just explaining how last time we played this campaign, I made the bad guys the Micropenesians, but if you spell it out, it spells out the Micropenisians.
Oh,
Which is why they all talk.
Penesians.
Yeah,
Penesians.
it's why they all talked with the actually I've never touched a woman in my life voice. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt, Vex.
You're good. I mean, you fucking DM last session, so a little bit of fucking context works,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're back, what do we say? So what do we say about getting into some crazy shit tonight, huh? So you guys have heard little rumblings, little tumblings, some speak going on in your circles. This is going down to the far south of the continent. You've heard of some other monster hunters going out but never reporting back. So, as monster hunters and as probably people of the crown at this point, you're trying to protect your own country and stuff. You want to take a look into what's going on. So we'll start with Miss Ferris. How did you hear, and how are you gonna get to this town to the south?
I mean, I always hear about these things because most people want my help at some point or another because, let's face it, I am one of the most decorated monster hunters. So I think I'm just going to walk like I usually do. It'll take me a little bit, but I walk fast. So I'll be there in no time.
All right, well, you start walking. No one really knows the name of this town. Name is just kind of like a small little village. It's honest people trying to live their lives. That's really all you've heard. So the town name is kind of just non-existent at the moment that you know of. I mean, probably the people of this town have a name for it, but you don't know it. So you're walking. You're heading along. We'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right, Zephyr. How did you hear, and what how are you getting there?
Zephyr, I would believe, probably heard about this just from wandering and running into other hunters that have been talking about it, how he's getting there. Probably once again stealing a horse, stealing a wagon, just however he can get there.
All right,
Just
roll me a
getting there.
d20, just luck check. See what you got.
10.
10? It's a decent horse. I mean, it's gonna get you there. Probably won't listen to you very well, so probably gonna have a little bit of a tough time, controlling it during the adventure. But you're gonna get there at some point. You may take a couple pit stops, maybe trying to teach the horse a lesson sometimes, but gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Get
So
fucked
you're
a
making
couple of
your
times.
way. Yeah. So you're making your way. Same thing as Miss Ferris. So you probably never heard of this town. Probably don't even know it existed until now, until you heard some rumblings from other hunters. Now we'll go with Tulissa, or however the hell you say it, Mimic.
Talissa is riding across the country on her spectral steed. She's a large, like, pale white ghost horse that she rides on. She's a like reddish purple skinned tiefling with fiery glowing gold eyes. It doesn't have horns, which is weird for a tiefling, but she wears a wide brimmed cowboy hat, much similar to Theo. But she rides with her bow strapped across her back, sprinting across the country on her horse.
And how did you hear what's happening?
Talissa's a lone wolf type hunter, but she occasionally on the hunt for information crosses paths with some information dealers or peddlers or just barkeeps who have heard about missing monster hunters. So she, with Talissa, is very interested in stopping this process, getting to the bottom of this.
All right. All right. So everybody's making their way slowly but surely to this town. So we'll go back to Zephyr. Zephyr, you are going to be the first one there. You probably heard about this earlier than most just because you are on the darker side of the monster hunters. You do dabble in crime and stuff, so you've probably heard about this faster than most. So about probably maybe a couple miles, if not 10 miles, out from this small village. You probably stopped and grabbed directions. You run into the forest that it's surrounded by. I mean, the south is pretty lush in forest and stuff. It's not like the north or the coast or anything. It's a pretty sprawling forest. So as you start to set foot into this forest, like about a mile in, most of the trees have started to die. You like look around you and it's almost void of life. You don't see any birds flying around, you don't hear any chirping, you don't hear any kind of animals running around. It's just quiet. Like almost eerie quiet, like too quiet. And as you keep riding, you look at some of these trees that you're passing by, and you see a couple like slash marks in them and all that. Let's go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
12.
So with a 12, like I said, I mean, to you, even for you, I mean, in dabbled in crime, you've seen some shit in your life. This is honestly really creepy to you. I mean, what you can see at the moment is just from the point where there's lush green forest, all the way, and you can start seeing a little bit of the town, a little bit of the village, a little bit of buildings. All the way from where you are, all the way into the village, are just dead trees. That is all you see for the next couple miles. What you gonna do?
Just gonna keep riding and hope nothing jumps out and tries to kill him.
So you keep riding. Nothing happens to you just yet. and that's we'll switch to Lissa.
Yeah. What's Talissa see as she's riding her horse?
So you probably see like the same kind of thing, just about. After like this path, it's a pretty rural path. I mean, there's not much like going on around this area, so this path is pretty just. You can tell this town has only really used this path. This is like their main road, quote unquote. But it's going through like a lush forest, and like I said, it's just a straight line of just where it cuts off. Like sudden you're in a lush, nice forest, beautiful, birds are chirping. You see some like squirrels and shit running by, and it just cuts to dead trees and silence.
Um, Talissa's gonna go ahead. Um, and can she just make? Can Talissa make an Arcana check just to try and get if there's like a magical sense to whatever's happening
Yeah,
around
go.
here? Clark, I'm gonna lock you up. That's gonna be what did I say? Arcana. That's 16.
With a 16, you feel a distinct evil energy.
Okay.
Um, you don't get a sense where it is, but just from what you can see, and I will say that like, since most of these trees are dead or if not fallen down and rotting away, you can see pretty far. You can see the buildings at this point a little bit. You can see that whatever is happening in this area is focused in this town.
Okay. The other thing, can I make an investigation check on the claw marks?
Yeah.
Over in the trees. That's going to be a investigation. Is going to be a 21.
21. You can tell they're not claw marks.
Hmm.
As you kind of like put your fingers up to a couple of trees that you find with like marks in them, they're made with a distinguished slashing motion of a weapon of some sorts.
Do I get any indication on what kind of weapon it is?
I mean, just from like the marks, it's a slashing weapon. You can't tell like if it's a sword, if it's like a spear or anything. You just know it has a blade.
So I think Talissa, she hops off her horse. Her eyes like glow in this bright flame. Um, and she kind of like runs her hand along the claw marks, or on the slashes in the trees. Just kind of pondering and recognizing that this is something that's not this is not organic. These claw marks or these marks.
Yes. So you both of you are making your way back on as Talissa hops back up on her spectral steed and starts probably going towards the village.
Mhm.
Miss Fair, you're walking, right? You're walking along.
Sir?
You're probably like just kind of chilling, just minding your own business as you step foot into this forest. Same thing with everybody else. It's a straight up like line. It's like it's almost a straight like circle. I would say the easiest way to describe it is
Just
like
Dome of Death?
yeah, pretty much. It's a very like eerie thing because it's like if it was from like a natural thing, you wouldn't think it would be like perfect cutoff. You know, you would think you would see like a spread of it where it would slowly kind of start beginning to grow again, but no, it's just a straight cutoff of death and growth.
And we can just cross it, no problem.
Yes. You
Okay.
walk in, no problem.
All right. Well, I mean, what the hell's gonna happen? Everything's dead in here, so.
So you keep walking, and all of a sudden, so give me a perception check real quick.
I gotta lock this cat up real quick. I'll be right back.
I chill.
Okay.
My perception's
Shit.
+0
Fuck.
still. Jesus. So 13.
13.
Mhm.
With a 13, I was gonna put Mimic on the spot and have you meet Mimic first, but I guess not. So at 13, kind of see the same things I will say to play. is you just see death. I mean, there's not much else to it. I mean, trees are obviously
Is
dying,
there?
not dead.
Let's see. I mean, I don't really have a ton of knowledge. I'm. It's not my cup of tea
No,
to
you
know how
punch-
that stuff works. But I just punch stuff.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
punch
do.
stuff.
You want me to
you don't
punch
get
stuff?
me.
Listen, you want me to punch stuff? I'll punch the hell out of stuff all day. But I, this stuff, the growing and the lack of growing, I know nothing about this. I can probably figure out if something's poisoning. I mean, something could be poisoning everything. That would make the most sense.
Well, go ahead and give me an investigation check on that then.
Yeah,
if you want.
or like a history check if I know anything about that. Yeah, that's not good. My investigation check was a 5.
Yeah, you don't anything right now.
And let's see if I do. Oh my god, even worse. If I get a history check, it's a -1.
A history check, I would say just because you're not familiar with this part of the country.
I don't really know much about this stuff, man. I told you about. I told you. I tried. All right, I tried. I tried to look at it. It's a plant. I get that it's not growing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like this part of the country you're not too familiar with. I mean, nothing really is happening towards like the southern part of this country. I mean, especially where this forest is, it's a little bit too dense. This is why probably most of you realize that there's even a town over here because most of the time this forest is way too dense and the trees are too big to cut down and make buildings out of.
Yeah.
To give a point of reference, most of these trees are like the woods in like San Francisco and stuff.
I like the what? You broke up.
Redwoods.
The redwoods. Redwoods.
Ah, okay.
Rollwoods.
Like, the trees are huge, like to the point where like cutting down one would probably cause more deaths than anything.
Yeah,
Um,
don't want that.
as Miss Ferris rolls up on a purple tiefling, as Talissa is checking out this tree.
So Talissa is like running her hand across the slash marks, and kind of turns around, and like flaming, glowing eyes lock with Miss Faris's, and Talissa just kind of nods and hops back up on her horse and starts riding to town.
Okay.
She's not like riding like galloping into town, but she's just like at a walking pace. So.
Okay.
All right,
I mean, I'm still walking,
Zephyr.
so.
Zephyr, my boy. As
Yes, sir.
you are the closest to the town, you hear a horrifying screech. Like, blood curdling, just nasty type of screech coming as it starts getting closer to you. Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. Perception is that's 15.
15. You can tell whatever made that noise was not human in nature. And then the both of you that are kind of a little bit behind Zephyr, you hear the echo of the screech. It is a little bit terrifying to both of you, I would say. I mean, all this death and all of a sudden you hear a blood-curdling screech.
Talissa just rips her bow off her back.
Actually, Talissa, give me a history check.
It's not very good. 11.
Even with an 11, you can tell that screech was from a fiend. Just from your infernal nature and that you are a tiefling, you can tell that was from something from the underworld.
Talissa, she just kind of knocks an arrow and holds it in place with one hand, but then begins to ride with her horse. Her horse's name is Tidal. And she just begins to ride at a little trot now. Not galloping quite yet, but...
Alright, so, Zephyr, this thing is getting closer and closer to you. As all of a sudden, a white winged beast comes out of nowhere and tries to shoot with the sword. What's your AC?
12.
12. It's gonna hit you.
How like far away?
You're probably about like 200 feet.
Okay. Just I want to check my horse's speed.
What is longsword damage? Is that... Oh, you take 8 damage.
And as a reaction, I'm casting Hellish Rebuke.
Hell yeah.
So what is that? So he is going to take 4d10 fire damage, plus this is a 3rd level spell.
Does he have to make a dex save?
Yes.
He does not pass it.
Okay. Gonna roll my d10 here. So he takes 19 fire damage.
Ooh.
So, as like you erupt in flame as the thing strikes you, he just kind of blows right by you and just flies away. As both Miss Fair started to run as she saw Talissa start galloping. I would say both of you probably make it to Zeph. Just as this white thing just started flying away.
Is it flown like super far out of range at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I would say like you can probably see it starting flapping its wings far away.
do we think it's within 600 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, so Talissa's gonna just loose an arrow at it. And I have to make this attack roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
15 is the lower of my two.
You still miss. You see the arrow start flying. You feel like in your heart that's gonna hit. It just sails just past him. Like you knocked it and put a little bit too much strength on it almost.
Just carried forward a little too much with momentum by the horse. She releases the arrow, watches it, faces down, like just faces towards Zephyr. What was it?
It was big and white and scary.
Were you fighting a frat
set on
brother?
fire.
Like, what?
Pretty sure it was a fiend.
Yeah.
I put my hand on his shoulder, like, you good?
Me?
No.
Uh,
Zephyr, you good?
I'm a little hurting, but I'm okay.
You have claw marks?
Well, he took a swipe at me with a sword.
Alright. A sword. Alright. Well, it looks pretty long gone now. Did he take anything from you? Or he literally just swiped at you and flew away?
Just swiped and flew away.
That's wild. Usually fiends have some sort of motivation there. I wonder if they're guarding this. I don't know. It's weird. It's strange because the trees had been damaged by some sort of slashing weapon, but I don't know. I didn't get a good enough look at that creature to just, judge if it was strong enough of making the kind of damage I saw. Whatever. Well, I guess we're all safe at this point. My name's Talisa. And
As far as
I think people know who you are. You have quite the reputation. And I'm not sure why, but hey.
I'm good at what I do, and we've hunted down some pretty big monsters, myself and this guy right here.
And you are? Looking at Zephyr.
Zephyr, he just kind of like waves, still staring at where the thing flew off to.
It's not gonna come back. He's fine.
It might come back. I assume
Well-
the reason we're here is because something has been coming back.
But do we know that? I mean, what have we found? What have you found out about these disappearances, other than that they're just happening very randomly?
Well, considering I just got here, I don't know that much about the disappearances, other than that several high-ranking monster hunters have gone missing around this area. I can tell you that there's a heavy evil presence in these woods. I don't know if it was exactly caused by that fiend. As I said, I didn't get a good enough look at him, or them, excuse me, to get a perfect read on whatever's going on here. And the claw marks that I assume, if you are half as good of investigators as your reputation would indicate, the claw marks, or what looked to be claw marks on the trees in the forest, were caused by some sort of weapon, not organic claws. So we are dealing with some creature of considerable strength here. But as for specifics about the disappearances, I don't know that.
There's been all different stories floating about, so it's hard to say, but it I mean, it seems pretty consistent. The only ones I have heard is hearing weapons clanging, but then not seeing anything. No one there, just disappeared. But that's the only thing I've heard, and you know, that's why we come down here. We'll do what we always do. They'll give us the information, and we'll figure it out.
So, what are you guys gonna do? You guys just gonna
I mean,
Go
I'm
try?
gonna go to the tavern. Yeah,
All right.
it's
So,
usually a good place to start for information.
as you guys get closer and closer to this village, I'm gonna need you all to do perception checks.
Alright.
Nat 20.
I also got a nat 20.
I hope we don't use
I
these
got a
up.
5.
Hey,
Don't use them now.
yeah,
So-
you're just saving yours.
Honestly, with the group consensus being over probably 45, because you got a 5, right? Play.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Woohoo!
5 group consensus. All of you see this. As you guys like start getting closer and closer to town, especially you, Talisa, feel the darker presence that you felt earlier overwhelmingly strong here. Like wherever these fiends came from was from here.
Gotcha.
As you guys get closer and closer and closer, like you are walking up this main path, and all you see is half these buildings are destroyed, like like huge holes in the side of these buildings, blood scattered everywhere, bodies just all around. There is something awful happened here.
This sounds like season 1 of Castlevania. So I think Talisa just kind of takes everything in. Then I think Talisa is gonna just kind of like feel her way like closer to where like the dark evil energy gets the strongest, I think is what she's probably gonna try to do.
So as you start, like, you pretty much are gonna about to be taking a into this village. You are yanked back by a hooded figure, as all of you are starting to be pushed by like a force you cannot feel towards like just the woods. As this masked person goes, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Why the fuck are you even out in the open? as you guys are like being like grabbed. If someone wants to make an arcana check, they can.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Talissa's,
what now?
Talissa's gonna make an Arcana check. And Talissa's that's a 21 again.
Yeah, what,
Um,
14 on Arcana check?
and Talisa like pulls out. She put her bow back, but she pulls out one of her swords, and is just like, "Take your hands off my horse."
So all of you are grappled by a mage hand right now, and just being like forced into like a cave kind of. Not really
Can
a
I
cave.
Can
but
I punch him?
you're
Can I
too
make an
far.
insight check?
So both of you. Let me paint the picture.
Sorry,
real quick
sorry.
with you. So both Miss Ferris and Zed are being held by what Talissa can tell is a mage hand, as you were both grabbed by like a spectral hand that now you can see, since you're now seeing the guy, and Talissa's just being grabbed and like yanked away from the village, as like all of a sudden like a cave entrance near this village, not really a cave entrance, it's like a hideout kind of thing, is being like brushed away by a second mage hand. You wanted to make an insight?
Yeah, can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a 18.
18. He actually, whoever this guy is actually like genuinely scared for his life, and is trying to save your guys' life.
Talissa puts her sword away, and just says, "Let my horse go. I'll follow you into this cave."
Both of the mage hand that's grabbing both of your friends just vanishes as both of you flop to the ground.
Can I
Was that
ride
really
into the cave?
necessary?
As he just kind of like, starts kind of like nudging you guys to go a little bit faster towards the
All right.
this
You know,
covered brush. As you guys walk in to this like little, it's hard to explain. It's kind of just like a think of like I forget this fucking spell's name. Shit. The one that makes the hut. Fucking
Lehman's tiny hut.
Tiny hut?
Lemon Sounds Hut. Yeah. It's kind of like that, but just like a less version of it and made by hand. As you guys walk in, the space is clearly bigger than what it entails, and you can see a couple like maps drawn out of the area as you walk in, and just a table in the middle with like a little tiny fire pit. But as you know of the spell, it's the same. It's just like man-made. So you guys doing?
I think Talissa kind of doesn't really let her guard down, but sheaths her sword, and kind of she kind of keeps her hand on her sword, bow still on her back, or on one of her swords, bow still on her back, and it's just, what's going on here?
Guy just kind of looks at you, sits down, and like spins a dagger in his hand that just stabs it into his table. And he goes, "You guys haven't heard? I thought we got messages out like a week ago."
not much getting out there, except for rumors through the grapevine that are just getting scrambled the farther they go.
Fuck.
What's happening?
Well, where do I even fucking begin? Shit, I don't even know. I mean, to be
First of
honest,
all,
what?
do you know what those things are flying around?
No, not really. They just, I don't even know what happened. To be
How
honest.
many have you seen? Have they been out during the day? Only at night?
They're out all the time.
Just whenever.
Yeah.
That's
How long ago did all this start?
Probably, I would have to say like 3 weeks ago. I mean, I have no exact time, like time and day by any means, but mostly just been a couple people surviving that have like hid.
What other events have been going on besides the flying creatures? There's obviously some sort of poisoning happening. People are dead. There's bodies everywhere. It's chaos here.
Yeah, you can fucking say that again. I mean, where do you want me to? Want me to start from the beginning, like how everything happened, or like just about when the shit started hitting the fan?
Start
mean,
from.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say start from the beginning. As much information as you can tell us about whatever's going on here is gonna be helpful for us.
What she said.
Okay. So I'm a hunter from this village. I moved here just because it was felt like getting away from home. And I'm a son of a fucking noble, and I just hated my father. So I moved away to this town, somewhere far away where no one would find me. I was pretty good at hunting back in the day, so I just took up being like the town hunter, hunting for food, skinning animals, getting pelts and shit, food. And so when this guy came, said he could like be our priest, and everybody accepted him because obviously a lot of people are religious and people like to know a god can help them in some ways and whatnot. I mean, not everybody here from this town is running away from something like I was, but most of these people were genuine people that were like looking to the gods for like fortune, like a good harvest, and stuff like that. But
And did this priest arrive about the same time everything started?
He was already living here for about a year.
Okay.
I've been here for like 4 years, I would say.
All right.
But
Any newcomers just before?
Nope, just him. And everyone accepted him like graciously just because everyone was really excited to have a priest, Sometimes a town needs a priest, if you're having a bad day and you need to look up at something, I never believed in that kind of stuff. I was always a skeptic if gods did exist or not, but now I know some fucking do.
I
But,
mean, several of them do. Whether or not they play into your moral code is one thing, but the fact that there are the gods that exist in this world, yes.
yeah, sorry, I'm scrambling.
I understand. Take your time. Talissa pulls out just like a bottle of water and hands it to him, or like a fucking canteen flask thing.
Yeah.
Or a water bag.
Water bag. I can't think of the technical term.
Ew. That sounds gross. Don't say that.
Like one of the leather fucking bags they used to fill.
Like a lambskin bag that they used to use back in the day.
That would, I guess, still be considered a canteen.
But it's not. It's like a water bag.
Yeah, it's a water bag.
Gross.
Okay. I hand her a camel. I hand him a camelback backpack.
Okay. he takes the hose.
Off-brand though.
Oh my
god. He takes the whatever you gave him and just starts chugging. Well, yeah, we don't know what it's in now because we're all disagreeing.
Yeah.
He just starts chugging, and he kind of like finishes it, wipes his mouth, and hands it back to you. Okay, so what happened was, whatever this priest was doing in his spare time, whenever he wasn't with anybody, he was doing something in the church. We don't know what it was, and whenever he was doing this something, we would hear noises. I mean, really thought of anything. He thought he was praying, and maybe the gods were answering him. That's what we thought, or most of the townspeople. I always was skeptical of him, but that's just me. When finally, probably about a year like his year anniversary of being here, a huge like magic blast. I don't know the correct term. I'm probably using it wrong or whatever. I'm not a magic person by any means. Pretty much destroyed the surrounding forest. And as people started to freak out, and like go to the priest because we thought this was the end of times, you know? I mean, we're a small village. No one expects shit to happen to us like this. So people wanted to pray like one last time before they thought they would die. And this priest sacrificed them all to summon a couple of those white fucking flying things. I mean, maybe he was trying to do something else. I have no idea.
Was the priest that did that to the town?
Yes.
After he summoned the creatures, what did he do?
He died. The creatures turned on him and fucking tore his head off.
And
Okay.
somebody saw this happen, or is it just passed through?
Well, I saw it. I mean, this only happened 3 weeks ago, and
Just seems like quite an experience to witness.
yeah. Kind of surprised I'm not fucked up in the head right now, but I've been more focused on kind of hiding and trying to blend in and not get my head torn off.
Can Talisa roll a history check? Try to see if this is anything that she thinks she's come across before.
Yeah.
She has not come across this before.
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, you have probably like some pretty good fucking sorcerers, like summon a fiend, but it's rare. Like they have to be like really good at casting the spell, making the incantation, and like the magic circle. It has to be really accurate, and they have to have some sacrifices.
The power behind that, with that much sacrifice involved, is no wonder why there's not much left. So we know there's 3.
At least that I know of. There could have been a 4th. I mean,
There's at least however many of the winged fiends there are. There's got to be one more at the heart of all this. I'm almost positive whatever the priest was doing was summoning some other kind of powerful creature. That's
I'm just. I mean, I have no idea about magic, but I'm assuming whatever he was trying to do probably backfired on him, considering he's dead.
Are there any? I don't know whether or not you know this. Are there any legends about this area? Ancient monsters, ancient magic that you know of? Any of the surviving townspeople might know of?
I mean, our town isn't truly old enough to have those. I mean, maybe from what I've read in the history books, when I was living with my parents, was that the south part of this continent was a huge battlefield, I would say, before all of Rakia became one, like one whole country. Yes. We were 2 countries before that. I mean, it's a very, very long time ago. I think like 400 years ago or something like that. So, 400 years ago, I guess a huge battlefield, and like, I guess this is where the border is of our 2
Bro,
countries.
they're like fucking running around upstairs. First they goddamn fucking leak, like seriously, like fucking sprinting back and forth. What the shit? All right, I'm sorry.
You could.
So this is battlefields are harbors of death and destruction, but at least in my experience, there's not much. There's not much in the way of order behind monster attacks. This is just all very strange. Was you two, have you guys come across anything recently that might indicate something?
Can't say I've run into a creature like that. All I do know is that they don't come out of nowhere. If they've been summoned, there is some way that they're being, I don't want to say controlled, but just they have a mission or have a task at hand, and they just continually do that. So, we could take a chance at trapping one of them, or track them somehow. See if we can find a source of where they're going when they're not terrorizing everybody.
Man, I don't know about trapping them. I mean, when a couple of survivors that didn't die from when the priest sacrificed them to summon these things, they started hunting us down. I mean, there was only like I think 10 of us left at that point. I think some got far into the woods before those things hunted them down and killed them. I mean, they could fly. They have gigantic fucking swords. So, trapping one would be fucking near impossible.
Well, we could hit it with an arrow, some kind of flag or marking that we could give it from afar that would help us to be able to see it from down here. Besides it being, large, but it just saying.
I don't know if I can. I mean, we might be able to bring one down. It wouldn't be impossible, but it would be very difficult. Was this priest from anywhere? Did they say where they had come from?
I don't really care about him, so I never really got a chance to really talk to him.
Is there anyone left who's here who might have?
What you're looking at.
Sorry to hear that. It's a very tough situation you're in right now, but you can help us, and maybe we'll be able to take him down, or at least find you a different place that's not here.
I mean, I don't even know how I could help.
Oh, you survived this long. You're obviously tough.
Mostly out of luck.
Can I just do like a investigation of the surrounding area? I'm kind of done talking to this guy. Talissa doesn't get along with people very well. Fucking Christ. That's a 6.
I mean, what you can see is the trees would have been beautiful.
But so I just
You
kind
don't
of
get you don't get anything really.
I
that
start to like
helpful.
look. Talissa starts to like look around the inside of this little cave here, kind of looking at the few. You said there's a few people left still.
2 other people that are with him,
Yeah, so kind of.
but they're mostly just really cautious of you 2, or 3 of you, and kind of just like are not talking to themselves. They're kind of just staring at you.
Talissa gets distracted by a squirrel outside.
Yeah, but the guy kind of speaks up again, like, "Look, I don't even know if like you guys could beat them. I mean, you guys look tough and all, but we've had like 3 hunters, 4 hunters. I don't even know how many came through here. I mean, the ones I talked to, I only talked to 4 of them. They all said the same thing. Oh, we got this. Ran into the village and never heard of them again.
Well, all we can do is fight them.
We can do a lot more than just fight them. I don't suppose any of the people who are surviving have any experience with, like, making enchanted stuff, or you're a hunter, but I don't know how equipped you are to trap large flying beasts.
I mean, I can always modify, like, the traps I know of to try to catch one. I wouldn't say would probably the best. They would probably break really easily.
Hmm.
And the two behind me are, one was just a family man, the other is just a kid.
Okay. I think I have a plan for how to... I think we clearly don't know enough about what's going on. You said to listen motions to Miss Faris and Zephyr. So you said you two have worked in a team before. I am not very experienced with working in a team, so forgive my bluntness if I am. But we should try to trap one of these things, take it down, one of the flying ones, and see if we can... I'm almost positive there's a much more powerful creature at the center of this, and the last thing we need is those smaller ones flying in on us while we're trying to attack them. So we should try to trap one of those in the forest.
I mean, I can certainly help. You need muscle? A muscle. You just got to tell me what to do, and that's fine. You know, I wasn't used to being on a team either, but I'll tell you what, I've had a couple recent experiences. Sometimes it makes you better to have good monster hunters around you too. It makes you a wall, and it's a pretty good wall to have when you got a good team with you, especially when we're facing that. I mean, I'm big. I've faced a lot of things that are big, but you know, I could set a trap. I could fight something. Thinking about how all that's gonna work, generally not something I do. I'm kind of more acting and then think about it later.
Well, if, you're clearly the biggest and toughest one of us, right? So you, I think, would be best suited for the role of bait. Until it just kind of smiles a half smile.
I mean, that does make the most sense that I would be the one that it would want the most. Oh, wait. You said bait.
Yes.
Bait, like when I put cheese out to catch a mouse.
Yeah, sure. I don't use cheese to catch mice, but I'm sure I don't own a home, so I've never really trapped mice before. So, but yes, so based off what, I'm sorry, we didn't get your name. Do you have one? Motions to the villager.
My name is Roger.
Based off what Roger was saying, it seems like these flying creatures are trying to keep word from getting out about this. And clearly they have a taste for living creatures. Bigger the better, I'd assume. So, what if you attempted to be, like, causing a lot of noise, trying to run away from the village, clearly, pretending, of course, because a big tough woman like you would never be actually scared, to be afraid of something you'd seen or whatever, and then hopefully that could draw one of these creatures to you, and the two of us could catch it. Well, it would swoop down on you, and then we would ambush it. Does that make sense to everyone?
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me. As long as I'm not bait, it's all good.
Do you have...
I'm fine with being bait.
Zephyr, do you have anything that can stun or hold restrain a creature?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
no, I do not, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine. Well, all right. We'll do what we can. But as far as the stuff, I'm sure she can take it. Do you have, motioning to Roger again? Do you have any sort of healing potions or anything we could borrow?
I mean, not really. I mean, I have a little bit to make one.
Cool. That's great. All right. We'll be fine,
you-
I'm sure.
Do you want me to make it?
Yes, please.
I mean, I can it this way. I can make one of a greater health potion, or I can make two like general health potions.
Make the 2, please. That way, if we can restore more than one of us, that might be more valuable in the long run.
He just kind of fumbles around and grabs a couple of resources. You watch him kind of start on like the last bit of herbs he has, as he's obviously like kept some stuff, and scavenged some stuff, um, into like a little jar. Grabs some like water and stuff and starts just making a potion as he hands you 2 bottles. And those are 2d4.
Okay. Talissa keeps one, and she throws one to Miss Faris. You'll probably need this because you're the bait.
Thanks.
And then so what I think I'd like to do is, like, for us to sneak out and, like, kind of pick a point on, like, the main road leading here. And have Miss Faris run out and cause, like, a big scene. And then I think it would be best, Zephyr, if you and I were on opposite sides of this main road, hiding in the trees, in the brush, whatever. And I want to try and bring this thing down.
It works for me.
All right. So everybody, give me stealth checks, or at least the 2 that are gonna hide.
I don't have to be stealthy. I'm not supposed to
I
be
got a
stealthy.
24.
Give me a stealth check, too, Miss Ferris. I mean, you guys gonna get attacked right before you guys start setting up?
So 14 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What'd
what
you
I got
get?
too.
14.
14.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys go to start heading towards the main pathway. It wasn't like this little hut wasn't that far away from the main road, but it was a little bit of a walk. Probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from the main path. But she's pretty much living right under their noses at the moment. As you guys get to the main path, and what are you guys doing once you get to the main path?
So Talissa will take the far side of the path, and can I look for, like, a tree or something? I want to tie a rope around it, and then tie a rope around an arrow, and I'm willing to take, like, disadvantage on my attack or something, to, like, basically have a arrow that's, like, strapped to a tree.
Yeah, give me a. Let's see, what would that even be? How would it be performance?
That'd be
Wouldn't it
survival.
be- I would
Like,
say
knot
survival,
tying?
just see if you can tie a tight enough knot to the tree.
I got a 16.
16. It's a decent knot. It probably, you feel like once you tie it and start like trying to pull it to see how tight it is, you notice that it will probably hold it for a decent amount, but it probably can break out of it. Like in rounds term, probably like two to 3 rounds.
Talissa's fine with this.
Zephyr, doing anything? Preparing anything?
Nothing really to prepare. Just finding a bush big enough for him to hide in and hanging out.
You look around and all the bushes don't have leaves, so you just be standing in a little bit of broken branches.
Are there any shadows?
Yeah, I mean, there's shadows being cast by the trees.
But like not dark shadows?
No.
That could. Damn.
Like, this place is obviously, like, void of life, but, like, the sun is still shining brightly into this place.
Okay, so he's gonna just try to get himself into whatever kind of shadows he can find and just kind of be creepy and hang out there and wait for everything to happen.
Okay. Alright, Miss Ferris. What are you doing? How are you gonna get this thing's attention?
I mean, I'm just gonna go out in the open. I'm just kind of like, throwing punches out, get myself amped up, like ready to, and walking through, and just, I don't know where everybody's at. They said there was monsters here, and I've come to defeat some monsters. And I kind of like keep stretching myself out, and I'm kind of just like psyching myself a bit more because I know that it's probably not going to take too long before I get attacked. So, yeah. Then I start kind of running up through the center of town, like banging on windows, running through the buildings and kicking stuff
Oh.
down.
Please don't run into town, because that's
So
away
you're
from
going
us.
into town, right?
Away, yeah, that's what I meant. The opposite direction. Yeah, the helpful way.
Nothing happens because you're not yelling or anything.
Yes. I'm yelling and banging on windows and saying, all right, so I'll start saying specific things instead. Just,
So,
hey!
are you going into town or you're not going into town?
No, it's supposed to be when I'm leaving town, right? Isn't that when they're attacking?
Well, like
people?
moving away
You're
from the
not-
town, so
you're
you're
not
not like you're not into the place with.
We're not into the town. Where his
Buildings,
hut was outside the village. You were like probably like 150 to 200 feet from the village. on
So
this
my
main road.
my intent was for you to run like away from the village, trying to attract its attention, because I think these things are trying to keep people from escaping, in a way.
So I need to be looking like I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go that direction. And I don't know. I've never been bait before. What am I supposed to do?
Act scared. You don't seem very scared.
I can't. You know, I hate that I can't find monsters here. It's super creepy that there's a lot of dead guys around. I don't want to be here anymore, so I'm gonna.
Talisa just puts her head in her hands.
Miss Faris is just like walking very proudly, like I'm doing a great job. I'm so good at this.
Nothing happens.
No, I hope the giant flying things don't come out at me. I would hate to be attacked by anything at this point as I'm leaving.
Can I use Eldritch Blast just to like try and cause a wave of sound by where Miss Faris is?
Yeah. Give me an attack roll just on the ground. Just make sure you don't hit her.
It'd be a
Get
16.
over okay, I was about to say, if you get over an 18, you're actually gonna hit her.
Over
So
an
you
18?
shoot Eldritch Blast, and it hits like right by her foot.
Hey,
And the sound kind of just starts echoing as like this place is pretty fucking empty right now, so the sound just kind of just goes out as you hear a blood-curdling screech again. As all of you make perception checks really quickly.
17.
I also got 17.
I got 9.
Zephyr's just like being a little too creepy and like behind a tree, just sitting there.
I really
Very
hope he's
well.
better at fighting than he is at just like paying attention.
He's leaning up against the tree.
Oh my gosh.
Why
As
do I pick the worst people?
you guys look back to like the village, as that's where the wind came from, the two of you. You see just a shadow just dart up from like the center of the village and directly towards Miss Ferris.
Can I start raging previous to an attack happening?
I mean, never said it was gonna attack you right away, did I?
Well, I would like to anyway, just because in the event it does attack me.
Can you like hold it until it like swings down at you? Is that something she can do?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, can I literally like, can I get it going like right as I'm about to be attacked?
You can literally rage at any point you want. It doesn't have to be in combat. Like if you were
Oh.
mad at somebody and you
I
wanted
could
to
just
punch
break shit.
really, if you wanted to punch like Zephyr really fucking hard one time because he was annoying, you could literally just say, "I punch him."
Oh my god, I can do that. That's pretty awesome. So,
Rage isn't a mechanic that has to be used in combat. Rage is just there for you. You're a fucking barbarian.
I'm just like a blackout drunk with a violent tendency.
Well, you're not blackout. You're a fucking holy barbarian.
I didn't know we were talking about my father.
Oh my god,
Jesus.
Christ. All right.
Alright.
Well, so
you go into a rage.
So I'm gonna go into a rage. I'm ready for him to go. I'm thinking about using my javelin, like holding my javelin, like a way to block a swing. Because all I have is the great axe. I have a great axe, bare arms, and a javelin.
Okay, you can do that.
So I'm just saying, when he comes down to swing at me, I want to. Do I have a reaction? When I don't have a reaction on this character.
You could take like the
So-
dodge action.
Yeah.
Which just means I get disadvantage on my attacks. That's all it
Right.
means.
Yeah. All right. So
Basically, like
yeah. So I'm just gonna be like ready to like dodge out of the way. Use my dodge action.
Okay. So this thing darts up into the sky as all of you can see it clearly now. This thing is a pretty grotesque looking motherfucker. It is pretty much all white. It has like a yellowish kind of underside to it. It's carrying a gigantic fucking sword in his hand. You can tell it walks like a human, but looks nothing like a humanoid, like a tiefling would. A tiefling is a very humanoid fiend. It's
Mhm.
just they bred with humans over years, so they have more human features. This is just a very monstrous looking fiend. As it flaps this once more and just starts dive bombing you, and it's gonna swipe at you with its sword. You're taking the dodge with disadvantage. What's your AC?
15.
That's still gonna hit.
Damn it.
1d10. You're taking 13 damage.
Well, I am.
Is your
I have
rage-
resistance. Yeah, resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Give me 1 second. You take the full 13.
Okay.
well, it attacked it with the sword.
Yep.
Okay. As it comes into range, I would like to shoot. Even with disadvantage, I got a 19.
Yes. So what I was
with
gonna
my-
say is both you and Zephyr both get a surprise round. Technically, that's what we'll call it.
I'd like to bonus action. Actually, I'd like to bonus action Hexblade's Curse it. As it like flies down into range, and even with disadvantage, I then get a 22. Or no,
Yeah, it's gonna fucking hit.
yeah, I get +3 damage roll, so I still get a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that's still gonna hit.
Okay. So this is with the like roped up arrow. I do 10 total damage with the arrow into it, and I would like to keep it
Just
from flying away.
Yeah, give me a strength check with advantage. I
Okay.
know it's not you holding it, but
21.
it is not grappled, but it's not going to be able to fly away. As like you shoot your arrow, it hits its side, digs into it, and it just screams out in pain as it tries to like flap away, but the rope that you tied to it just kind of yanks it right back down into the ground. Zephyr,
Cool.
what you doing?
How far away from it are we?
I would say, Talissa was probably like 60 feet. No, probably like 40, 45.
Okay.
You're probably about the same.
Alrighty, so I'm going to cast Mind Sliver on it, so it needs to make a DC 13 intelligence save.
Where's my it beats it. Got a 15.
Alright, so then it does absolutely nothing.
Okay.
That's my turn.
And now we'll go into actual initiative. So everybody roll.
I got a 10 initiative.
I got a 4.
7.
You guys are fucked now, huh?
Yeah.
These are really deep fucking rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've rolled over a 10 twice tonight. So I'm gonna die.
Who got the highest? You got a... Was it Talissa with a 10?
I got a 10.
Yeah, Talissa was the 10. I was 7, and
Sweet. Real good stuff, guys.
it's bad.
7. And Zephyr with the 5. Alright, so it's a monster's turn. And it's going to attack twice with one with its longsword and one with its bite against Miss Ferris. They both miss. Cool.
Hell yeah.
And it's on its turn. It is going to try to fly away. It's going to make a strength check. Mimic will say it has to be a 17, since that's what you. Did you get a 17 or 19 on the tree?
I got a 16 on the tree.
16. Well, let's say it has to beat a 16.
Okay.
It does not beat it. So it's stuck in its place for another turn. That goes to Talissa.
I'm gonna, as a bonus action, I'm going to empower my arrow with a grasping arrow.
Okay.
Make my attack roll. It's gonna be a 25 to hit.
That's
2, 6. So 9 damage from just the arrow, and then 2d6 poison. So 8
Okay.
more, so 17 total damage. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it's like Talissa releases this arrow, and like this magical surge like bursts through it, and as it hits, it like expands, and all these like thorned vines wrap around the creature, wrapping it
Does it have to
in.
make a saving throw or anything, or just
It can
should
try to
float?
remove them on its turn with the athletics check. And when it moves on its turn, it takes another 2d6 damage
Is that from the poison?
from slashing.
From slashing, okay. Now it goes to Miss Ferris's turn.
So is this thing contained, or is it still fighting it, or is going to be actively fighting it to get out of it?
You don't know. You see it squirming around trying to get free, but you don't know if it's still gonna try to attack you or something.
Oh, we're trying to get rid of these things, right? I'm just killing these things, right?
Question it if you can, but
Okay.
survival's more important.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm gonna. Is it gonna talk to me? Okay. I walk up to it and kind of just like grab it and slam it down on the ground because it is kind of in the thorny thing. So I'm still being careful, but trying to see if I can pin it down.
Make a strength check.
With
Whoever's
advantage.
close to his.
25.
You got a nat 20.
Shit.
So you walk up and you're trying to like
I
grab
got a
him.
3 and a nat 20.
Wait, did you get is nat 20? Was that yours?
Yes.
Too? You also got a nat 20?
Then why didn't you say that?
He just said do it with advantage. I rolled twice. I got a 3 and I got a
So you
20.
each got a nat 20. Okay.
Yes. So, how do I want to do it? Do I want to do one roll decides? Or...
Would the thing
Okay.
roll with disadvantage because it's wrapped up in my thorns and slashed to the ground?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well,
Being
that's
slammed to the ground and wrapped doesn't give you any disadvantage whatsoever.
No.
Oh,
Find out. You have to find that out for yourselves.
okay.
We'll do one roll beats it. So just roll a d20. Whoever gets the higher gets it.
18.
I got a fucking 5. So you grab this thing and you just pin him to the ground. And it is snarling at you pretty badly.
So, I don't know if you can talk, but if you talk, we need to know where the others are.
And you just and that's your turn. Goes to Zephyr.
Okay. That's it.
Okay then. I guess I'm gonna just cast Eldritch Blast at it.
Don't hit me.
Yeah, make it. If you want to do that, you have to do it probably with disadvantage because Miss Ferris is currently on top of him.
I don't really have anything else that I can use that's not going to.
you could try to talk to it in Infernal. Maybe it speaks in Infernal. Because Miss Virus doesn't, but we both do.
All right. I'll try that then. I'll try in Infernal, asking it where the others are and what they want from this village with this village or whatever.
So you ask that, he kind of like darts his head towards you, now seeing you. He had no idea you were there. As he just stares blankly at you, like he's not willing to talk.
Does he understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
The reaction, I would think so.
I just kind of like slam him down again. I'll try and use an intimidation check. Answer his question.
It's a monster's turn, unless you're going to do anything, Zephyr.
No, that's gonna be it.
Shit. All right. So what it's gonna try to do first.
It has to use its action to break out of my thing if it wants to.
It has to use its action. Is that the spell you used, whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So it has to make a. You said.
It's a DC 13 check to get out of my my grasping brambles. I think you said a 16 for the arrow tied to the tree.
Yes.
And then
but I'm saying for like the thorns. Is that
yeah, for the
thing you were
thorns
gonna
it's a
do?
13.
13.
Yeah.
It easily beats that. As he kind of takes its fucking sword and just kind of. His arms are a little bit restrained, but Miss Ferris, you feel him kind of start overpowering you just a little bit as he just kind of cuts those thorns. As would this be another action mimic if you tried to get up from under Miss Ferris?
Let me just pull up grapple real quick.
I don't remember if grapple is an action that you have to take.
I think it's an action. Grapple 5e. Grab a critical. Grappled creature speed becomes 0. Creature must use its action to escape. Yeah.
And your thorns, was that at the beginning of his turn to break it, or is that just whenever he went to move?
To whenever they went to move on its turn, the thorns would do damage, but like I would say they could use their action before they tried to move.
Okay, so that won't be his action of breaking the thorns. That just went out and he was trying to move. Alright, so Miss Ferris, do another check with me.
They have to use their action if they want to break the thorns, though.
Oh, they do? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. So he's going to stay grappled for one more turn. And he's not going to, obviously, he can't roll to break the rope. But he is going to do nothing. He can't do anything else.
That's right.
That's going to be his turn. So, Talusa, you're up. Alyssa.
As this thing is pinned, I think Talissa's gonna walk out with her arrow drawn, still pointing at its head, and just say, "Tell us how many of you there are, and what's going on in town." And I'd like to make an intimidation check if I could.
Yes, you can.
That's gonna be a 21.
21.
Nice.
It's going to snarl at you.
I was speaking in Infernal too.
Yeah, I assume so. Is it just kind of snarls at you as, yeah, we don't tell you. You maybe have caught me, but I don't care if I fucking die.
Can I just shoot it now? Do you think my persuasion check was my intimidation? All right, so I'm gonna just fucking shoot it.
Yeah, you have an advantage because it's being grappled too.
That's 24.
That's gonna hit.
7. 10 more damage.
Okay. You said 10 more?
Yeah.
10 more. Okay. My pen won't fucking write. Work. Thank you.
Okay.
It's a fucking gel pen, but like the gel is like stuck. Anyway, anything else, or is that it?
That's all I can do right now.
All right, Miss Ferris, you're up.
All right, so technically I'm still raging, and it says, so at the start of each of my turns, I deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to a creature grappled by me. So that's just automatic damage, right? Because I'm grappling you? Okay. All right. I'll roll that first, I guess. So that's a 2. And I'm gonna punch him a few times. So yeah.
Give me a strength check actually, to see if you can keep him grappled. That's how grappling works.
15 plus 5, dirty 20.
30, 20, he gets a 23. So because if you were gonna attack, he wouldn't be grappled anymore.
Correct, great. Because
But
I would be.
he beats it. So now he kind of throws you off, and you can attack now if you wanted to.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna. So 15 plus 8 is
That's gonna hit.
23. Yeah. Okay. So D8 plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10 more damage, plus the 2 plus my divine fury, which is D6. So that's 4. So that's 6 on top of the 10. So 16 damage.
So what's the physical damage? Just the physical damage.
Oh, you mean from the hit alone?
The bludgeoning damage.
That was 10. 10 bludgeoning damage, and then I had that additional bludgeoning damage of 2.
I already calculated that one.
Okay. And then I have the Divine
Yep.
Fury.
I got that one. I was
Okay.
making sure.
That's
Alright.
fine.
Do you make 2 attacks per turn or just 1? Because you're level 6.
I can, yes. So I think I'm gonna do that actually. I'm gonna action surge.
No, just normally though. Don't you get 2 attacks at level 6?
Nope.
No, it says I only have 1.
I thought you had 2.
Nope.
No.
It says I only have 1, but that's okay.
I did it at level 5.
Oh, because she's level.
She's
She's
not.
3 barbarian, 3 fighter.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna use it anyway because I'm mad. I'm gonna punch him again.
Use your action surge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 15. Let's see, it's 23 again.
That's gonna hit.
8, 4, plus 5, so that's 9. Plus the D6, because that original bludgeoning is not going to happen again because that was all 1 turn.
Well, your other D6 doesn't happen either, 'cause that's only once per turn. The divine one. It's only once your first attack,
No, you're right.
so it's just the bludgeoning damage.
You're right. And that's necrotic damage from that first one, if that makes a difference. Okay. Cool. That's
so
it.
9 damage.
So I guess I did. So what was that? 6, 4, 9. So 15. So 15 damage.
From the second attack.
Yeah. 9 plus 6.
Oh yeah.
15.
Yep.
So 15 damage because I'm not adding the D6 on there. So that's what I had.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just trying to calculate. Pen
You
not
fine.
fucking working.
Stupid
Fine.
pen.
Fucking gel pens. I fucking hate them.
Oh, God. Alright, what the fuck is going on?
Alright, so Zephyr's turn. Zephyr's turn. Zephyr's turn. Zephyr, what you doing, boy?
All right. Now I'm gonna try Eldritch Blast.
Do it. There's an actual pen that works. Oh.
24. So
That's gonna
is
hit.
my. Then gets 1d10. Ooh, nice. 10 damage.
Hell yeah, boy. Very good. Anything else?
That's gonna be it.
Alright. Brings us to the monster's turn. So the monster is going to. How close would you say you got, Talissa? Like right next to him when you shot the arrow?
No, I'm probably like kind of on the edge of the path. So like out from the hiding in the forest area, but not like on top of them.
Okay. It's gonna look right straight back at Miss Ferris, and he's going to attack twice, and he's gonna use Reckless this turn, which means he gets advantage on all melee attacks.
But then we get advantage on him.
Yes, it does. One's gonna be 24 to hit, and the other is going to be a 19.
What kind of damage?
It's magical damage.
No.
So 1d10 on his sword. Just be really shitty fucking roll.
Yikes.
8 damage on the sword. His bite. His bite is 4. So altogether, his attack is gonna do another 87 damage. Magical piercing and cold damage on the second one.
Yep. Okay.
And that's it. He doesn't look like he's gonna try to run away at this point. He looks like he's just gonna fight it out.
Does he look fucked up at all?
He looks pretty bad. I mean, he's standing pretty fucking solid, but he's not looking good. But it goes to Talissa.
Talissa is gonna this time cast another spell on one of her arrows, as the thing's like still fighting, and say, "You're coming down." Attacking with advantage. I'm gonna crit, because I crit on 19s and 20s, and I'm casting enfeebling arrow on this one. So what it's gonna be is 2d8 plus 7.
And just remind me of just what the physical damage is you roll that.
Okay, the 2d8 plus 7 or 2d8 plus 4 physical is going to be 8, 12 physical, plus 3 separate necrotic,
Okay.
and then 4d6 necrotic, 10, 15. So
Okay, he's barely standing. He's looking worse for wear every moment.
I'm gonna action surge. Talissa's gonna say, "You're coming fucking down, bitch." I'm gonna get a 21 to hit.
It's gonna hit.
It's gonna be 8, 12 piercing damage, plus 3 more necrotic.
How do you want to kill this?
Can I not kill it? Can I incapacitate it?
I would say just because you only got 1 point over before going to 0, like 1 point -1, you'll deal knockdown damage.
Okay, so Talissa like puts the one arrow, like basically just puts both arrows through its wings. Is kind of what she's trying to do. So like one arrow through one of its wings that does like huge chunk of necrotic damage that just kind of like melts the wing away. And the other arrow, kind of like piercing the other wing to the ground. And then she like kind of like kicks some of its other wounds, pulls out another arrow and just says, in Infernal, "Now how about you tell me everything you want about the village?"
He's sitting there kind of just like squealing, trying to like even like he's still very not about telling you, but as you like point that arrow at him, he kind of just goes, "I don't know. I was just summoned into one not to let anybody leave."
How many of you have been flying around the village?
There's at least 2 more of us.
At least 2 more. Who's in charge of all this? Is there a Big Daddy in the village?
I mean, he sacrificed his body in order to become something great. That's all I know.
Okay, so there is a Big Daddy in the village still. Some sort of entity there.
Yeah, whoever summoned, he's the one you're looking for.
If we kill him, do we kill the rest of you too?
And that's kind of how summonings work.
Talisa releases the arrow into its head.
All of his limbs just go limp. Congratulations, you killed a fiend. One of many.
Hooray.
So what you guys gonna do with this information? Unless Talissa doesn't tell.
No, Talissa conveys it. So the priest didn't actually die whenever he did. Didn't actually. Oh, I mean, body died, but it's different sacrifice. I mean, what the thing said the sacrificed his body to become something greater. Assumedly, if we take him out, we take the other 2 out. At least 2 more of these flying sword creatures. we should go back to the village, or not the village, the cave, recuperate, and try to figure out a plan, maybe with the help of people who know the village better. Because if we can get to the whatever the priest is now without alerting the other two flying creatures, that would be best for us. But because one of those was hard enough to kill.
Right.
Yeah, we should definitely coordinate with the people from the remaining people from the village to come up with a good plan.
Can I just do like an investigation check on this thing's body? See if it like left anything?
Yeah.
17.
With a 17, all it really left behind was its sword. As you slowly start seeing it kind of starting to like, not really disintegrate, but just kind of like go back into like pure magic.
Can I make an arcana check on it to see if it would be like safe to grab?
Let's see, what'd you get?
15.
15. I mean, it's safe to grab. I mean, it's if you wanted to grab it, you could. And then do another arcana to see what the sword actually is.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd like to pick it up. I think I might be able to. Can I cast Identify as a ritual? No. 5 on my last arcana check after I pick it up.
With the 5, you can tell that it's just imbued with like demonic energy. Really all you're getting from it. You can't really tell much else. And since you're a fiend, you know, not really you're a tiefling, but you are a fiend. But since you picked it up and you are a fiend, you can tell that if a normal human picked it up, it would probably cause it to like do something to them. You don't know what.
Damn it. Well, I think Talissa's just kind of like put the sword over her back. Okay. Well.
All right, and if you want to use it, Mimic, it's just 1d10 damage plus 3,
Okay.
and it counts as magic damage.
Okay.
All right, what are you guys doing? You gonna go back to the little hut?
Yes.
It's my intention.
All right, so you go to the hut, as the 3 people kind of just like stare at you, like almost fondly, like they've never seen anybody leave the hut and then come back.
Sorry, are we welcome to come back in here?
Yeah. I mean, is it over? Did you guys like?
No. We killed one of
No?
them, though.
Holy shit! As they kind of all say that like simultaneously. Even like the kid is only like 12 years old, but he even says it.
I think that's valid. You've faced a life of undue hardship, and I think swearing at your age is totally reasonable.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
That's what I just said.
Fucking exactly. Swearing is fucking awesome.
Okay, maybe tone it back just like a little bit.
Fuck you.
I'd punch the kid.
Give me the tackle.
It's gonna be 11.
You hit it.
Oh no, that's the 13. I would like to. I don't want to hurt him. I just want to fucking like kind of knock him to the ground.
Yeah, you just knock him to the ground. And he goes, fuck, that hurt, man.
Like I said, maybe you can dial it back just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Man.
Okay.
That was a little uncalled for, ma'am.
I just
You know,
stare at whoever.
the father kind of walks out. Look, it's not his father, but what Randy or what
Roger?
Roger. Thank you. I don't remember my own NPCs. Whatever Roger said he was a family man. As the dude walks out, you can tell he's definitely a father. Like fucking beer belly, little scruffy beard. Looks like he's been dealing with like 5 kids all his life, kind of thing. He goes, "That was a little unnecessary, don't you think?"
No. He has to learn the lesson eventually. You can't just say whatever you want to anybody and expect no consequences.
You know, that may be true, but you know, here we are good people. We don't just hit anybody because we feel like it, even if they hurt your feelings. You know, feelings are important. You know. Come on, everybody, take my hand.
No,
We're gonna have a little session.
I'm
of
not
just...
going to have a session with you.
I'm not gonna touch you.
We just had to kill a fiend. I just executed a creature outside, and I really do not feel much in the way of sympathy for you. But it is the right thing for me to kill these monsters, and I want to stop whatever's happening in this country for my own reasons.
Roderick goes, "Okay, relax, relax. Thank you for killing one of them.
You're welcome.
Thank you." He just kind of takes a deep breath and goes, "Look, you said you only killed one of them. There's obviously more, and we don't have anything to offer you if you get this mess. I mean, I don't even know if the crown is gonna help us pay. I mean, I don't think anybody even knew what was happening to us."
Well, people knew there was obviously a message about, but I think Zephyr and I were discussing outside of after we killed this thing. We think your priest, whoever he was, he's lost his human body but has turned into something even more evil. And if we take him out, the rest of the creatures will just disappear. They'll go away, right? But fighting one of those was hard enough. So we'd like to, with something you very much can offer us, which is your knowledge, see if we could devise a plan to get to where the church is and maybe take out this bastard.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, whatever we can help with, we would love to help. Just fighting those things I can't do. I mean, I'm a good shot, but not that good of a shot.
I don't think any of us would ask you to fight them.
Yeah, but he kind of like motions over to like the table as he like rolls out a map that is roughly drawn. So like this place.
When you say roughly,
what you talking shit about my drawing, huh? I ain't talking fucking shit, huh? I made that fucking. As the fucking 12-year-old kid stands up.
And you did a
Okay.
very good job. Nobody's saying anything about the quality of the map, except for the fact that you did a very good job. Talissa clearly has a fake smile.
I don't like that tone, all right? But I'll take it. I'll take the good job. I just don't want to be punched again. He kind of just like sulks back into the corner.
Talissa motions to like the family man guy and just is like with the kind of eyes that go like, see?
The guy's just like, he just kind of shakes his head at you. But yeah.
Don't abuse your children, people. This is not real good lessons.
Roger kind of like starts like going over the map of the town and goes like, honest, without much of like the forest covering it, it will be hard to like sneak up onto the church. I mean, it's not like we have underground passages. We don't have a sewer system like a lot of the other cities do.
That would be really convenient right about now.
I know it would, but luxury of living in a very rural village is you know everybody, you know everything. But what I can offer is a escape hatch. I wouldn't even call it that really. It's just like in case there was a fire on the church, there is like a back door ish to the church that we built, and that's probably where the priest is. I mean, if everything happened and started there, that's where he's gonna be. Getting there is, like I said, is another question. I mean, there's no real foliage anywhere to hide behind. The only thing I can offer are these cloaks, which are pretty fucking well blended to like the disgusting fucking trees and shit.
Any help is good.
As he kind of walks back and just brings out like 3 cloaks that he's like scavenged around that are like not weirdly, but like really well like suited for like what you're planning. It's just they look like a fucking part of a rotten dead tree. Like pretty much in color. It looks like he's been out like scavenging around, so he knows how to like kind of stay hidden. And like you feel like just from him bringing this out, you know he was probably really good at hiding from his parents that were nobles. And
You gotta
skipped
be
out
good
on
at that
everything.
to escape and avoid capture for this long.
As he kind of hands you everything and just kind of like goes like, "This is gonna be the fastest route." As he kind of just starts like running his finger along the map and like darting between things and like a couple of bigger trees that are almost kind of like alive but not alive. They're hanging on to life by a thread with some like branches and leaves on them still. As
Cool.
he just like gives you those directions.
Can we take a short rest while we're here planning?
Yeah.
Sweet. We get our spell slots back, baby. And Miss Farris can heal. Get her rages back.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like we have a decent plan. Can anybody do anything to help us be sneakier? Is that anything any of us can do?
I'm not sneaky. Again, swing, punch, kill things, but sneaky, not quite my forte.
Okay.
I can make 2 of us invisible.
I am very, very sneaky, so how about you could make the 2 of you invisible,
Works for me.
and then I'll take my chances.
All right. So is that all? 2 people being invisible and one's trying to sneak.
I think
I
so.
guess so.
All right. Zephyr, make everybody invisible, or 2 people invisible.
And so he basically just walks over, puts his hand on Miss Farris's shoulder, and casts invisibility, and boom.
All right.
Zephyr and Miss Farris are both invisible.
You're both invisible. Talia, why don't Talissa? Talia, fucking Christ. League played it earlier. Give me a check.
21.
Yeah, you guys are like hidden. You're like ninjas.
So I think Talissa just pays very close attention to the map and like memorizes the path that he kind of pointed out, and just does her best to duck between buildings and stuff, just kind of assuming the other 2 are following.
Yeah. So you guys start like moving pretty fast and non-discreet through this place, through the village, and give me perception checks really quickly. Everyone, if you want to.
17.
15.
13.
So with everybody's perception checks, you guys can see like you see the couple of hunters that came here, like the 4 or 5 hunters that came here, just dead in the middle of the street. And as you get closer and closer to the church, you see just a mass pile of like probably like 20 bodies, just in a pile. Nothing like so much disrespect to these that are all dead. Like whatever. You know the priest killed him. The priest didn't give a shit. He just probably did something to him and just discarded their bodies like nothing. But as you start sneaking up to the back of this church, and I'll keep your check from earlier. For the Arcana in the very beginning is you just this overwhelming evil magic you just feel as you approach this. Like it's almost upsetting your stomach on how like putrid and evil it is. As you guys, go
Can we
ahead.
see the other flying creatures?
You don't see him anywhere at the moment. I mean, you can give me a perception check if you want. If you get it high enough, you might be able. But
It's an 18. It's one better than I got before.
18. You see one out all the way in the distance, and like just kind of patrolling. It's like too far away to see you guys, or at least you. And you don't know where the other one is.
Is like the as we like come to up to like this church building or whatever it is like the roof destroyed and all that, or is it intact?
The roof is partially destroyed. Where like the huge bell tower was is completely gone. You could tell there was a bell tower. You don't know what happened to it. It doesn't look like it's on the ground anywhere, but it's just gone.
Can I basically what I want to do is take my spectral familiar and just have it like run through town neighing a lot. I want Tidal to basically like try and cause a distraction and probably run away from us, like towards like where the far one is. To like see if it can draw out the other one.
Yeah. Give me an animal handling check, actually.
Can it be like a persuasion check instead?
I wouldn't say a persuasion. It's either going to be performance or animal handling.
Can I do performance?
Yeah.
It's only a 12.
With the 12, as you send your spectral steed, like galloping and neighing at everything, you notice that the one that you didn't spot is pretty close, but it doesn't seem to follow the spectral steed.
Okay.
You can tell it kind of like came out of its cover or whatever it was hiding and like was about it. But these things you can tell are obviously from speaking to one are obviously have somewhat intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys get to the back of this church, you notice like the trap door. It looks like a trap door, but it's more just like a door without handles kind of thing. What are you guys doing?
Guess we should try to open it. Sneak our way inside.
I'm only invisible because you're helping me with that. Otherwise, I would be sticking out like a sore thumb right now.
So I am hesitant to just open the door because I don't know if something's on the other side of it, like staring at it.
Can
I
Talissa
mean-
like take one of her swords and just try to like pry it open from a distance?
I mean, can she do that? Like from a distance?
I mean, within 5 feet.
Yeah, you can try. Give me a sleight of hand. Or strength, whichever one you want.
Better at sleight of hand. 19.
19. I will say this just because you got so high. You kind of creak the door open, so you slide your sword in, and you kind of feel like a latch kind of thing. You slowly lift that latch, the door kind of like what would feel like it would creak open. You kind of press your hand against it and slowly, so it doesn't make any noise, and you open it up.
Can we see anything inside?
You see a wall.
Just
It looks like it leads into a hallway, kind of thing.
can the invisible people go in and like scout ahead, and like I kind of keep watch out here?
That's what
We
they
can
want to
do that. Let's
Yeah.
do that. All right, so we'll since the door's already open, we'll just kind of get our way in, and we have to like stay right next to each other?
No.
It's not like he has to hold your hand or anything. It's not.
I just
Aw.
didn't. I just meant like if I get more than a couple feet away from him, is it gonna wear off?
No.
Okay.
It's however long he keeps up his concentration. I think that's
Okay.
invisibility.
Yeah, it's
Concentration.
a concentration.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna do an investigation check and see
So
if
how
there's.
far are you guys gonna go in? The hallway leads like probably like 10 to 50-ish in, and then takes a sharp right turn.
I'm gonna kind of go to the end of the hallway and like peek around the corner.
Okay.
It's still an investigation check, I guess.
What are you trying to investigate? Are you
I just wanna. I wanna see if I. Is there any indication that there's, someone close by, or is
I always has more of a perception check.
Okay. Well, so 16.
With a
Let's see, with my
16,
perception. Plus 0. So yeah, 16.
with the 16, um, you don't really see much, but the closer you get inside, since you're not really a magic person, you don't really feel how disgusting this is. Both Zephyr and Talissa both how like utterly disgusting this magic feels to them. But what you get is just your stomach starts getting like unease. It starts twisting. The closer and closer you get to the center of this church, but you don't see it at the moment. All you see is like a faint green light, like just pulsing.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go back and let Talissa know she can come in. At least up until that point.
How do you convey that you're invisible?
I don't know. I guess I can. I don't know. Can I make a noise? Which she won't know. We didn't pre-make any code words or noises.
You can just walk up and talk to me.
You're outside. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'm
so
just
I'm
like
gonna
I'm
go
just
back that
outside the
way.
door. All you have to do is like go to the doorway.
So
We walked all the way down. You know what? Fuck you both. All right. Fine. I did that. Do the things. Talk now. Or come. Follow. Follow. Let's go.
Come. What?
Oh,
Stop it. Follow. Let's go.
Talissa sneaks into the place and
Um,
is gonna like slightly close the door behind them. Leave it a little propped open, but like from a distance, it would look like it's closed.
Okay. Yeah, you just do that. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. So you walk in. I'm gonna need. Do you guys go around this corner or not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Can-
see anybody around the corner, but
Can I take a look around the corner? Because I haven't.
Yeah, you can. Give me a perception check.
I mean, I'm invisible, so I'll just walk.
10.
Same thing as I said before. Just kind of that feeling of just being repulsed by this magic, and just like the pulsing green light.
Can I do an
sort of-
Arcana check?
Yeah.
Nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Let's go.
So with a nat 20, what's your warlock patron?
I'm sorry, my what?
What's your warlock patron?
Or like you're
Magic voice.
packed.
Packed, yeah. So I'm not gonna try to do Mimic's voice because that's gonna be fucking impossible for me.
Where do I find that? I forget what I
If you go to
for it.
features and traits,
Mhm.
under warlock features, there should be something
It
about
is
under
Oh, yeah,
otherworldly patron.
The Undying
perfect.
is
He
my
knows
otherworldly
exactly
patron.
what this kind of magic probably is anyway. I'm not gonna try to do Mimic's voice for this dude. 'cause
Hey,
it's
what the
fucking
fuck,
impossible.
Zephyr? You're in some deep shit right now. What the fuck kind of magic is this,
Pretty much the Undying Patron probably knows what this is. It's deeply necromance magic.
bro?
What
This
he
guy is like trying to be like me. So I can't die, right? So like, and then I can bring things back from the dead. As your friend, hi Miss Ferris, he hops into your head. Is your friend Miss Ferris knows bring things back from the dead? Like that's what I do, baby. That and gamble. This guy's like trying to be me, but he ain't as good as me. But his fucking dangerous. I don't know.
yeah, what he said.
It's this necromancy. Expect summons and like necrotic shit.
And
Yeah,
it's
He
like
might die.
it's also that with a mix of like fiend magic, like just
That's cool.
dark magic.
I don't like any of this shit.
Fucking goddamn chaos sorcerer dude. Fucking whatever.
But yeah, that's what you get from your
Sounds
nat 20
fun.
Arcana.
He's supposed to be a minister.
If you have anything, I don't think I give you any powers that do like radiant stuff, but if you did, it would be really cool.
It would be.
I don't have anything that deals radiant damage.
We're fucked.
Yep. We're totally fucked. I'm
So
fine
what'd
with
you guys
that.
do?
I kind of just want to get it over with now.
I'm terrified. Fuck.
I'm yeah.
This character was
I'm
so
not
cool. I
excited
shouldn't have
about
broke her
this.
out for this. Fuck. Okay. I think Talissa's gonna just keep an eye on the back and just said, we're already here. We can try and leave now. This is a very, very powerful magical presence. Obviously whispering this. This is maybe the strongest one I've ever encountered. So we can try to sneak back out and try to get just the 3 people who are here away from the village safely. Or we can try to fight this thing. It's up to you guys.
About you guys, I am not confident that my strength is going to save us here, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm all for staying alive.
But what do we do?
Did I this think back to something. When I picked up the demon sword, did I get a sense like it would harm whoever, like a non-fiend that picked it up?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean it's just magical damage. So like anything like that is like resistant or immune to like regular types of damage, it would work on.
But let's say so what I'm thinking is if I hand this to Miss Forrest, did I get a sense of like just by wielding it, it would cause her some sort of damage?
I mean, it would cause really the sword would just be disadvantaged for her on attacks. But it does have a +10 to hit.
I think Talissa just hands the sword to Miss Forrest. Just says, "Try this. It might be good."
Oh, all right. I can do that.
Brace yourself when you hold it, though.
You take the
Oh,
sword.
that's fine. Yeah, I'm totally gonna take the sword. It's big and I can swing it at people. So yes.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, what the fuck? Why can't I just get a weapon that's gonna make me better? You dick.
It's gotta be a 15.
Constitution save. 17.
17, you pass.
Yeah.
Right when you grab this sword, you feel like a cold, deathly grasp come upon
Oh.
you, but you kind of just like shiver and like kind of shake it off as well.
That was weird.
But now it's a magical sword, so
Woohoo.
it's plus 10 to hit, and it's 1d10 damage plus
Okay, hold on. Plus 10 to hit and 1d
10
10 plus.
10.
plus 3.
Would be
Okay.
plus 3 or
And
plus
it-
your strength modifier?
Uh,
Because she's
I
a
mean,
plus.
my strength modifier is plus 5.
plus 5. I mean, it's still gonna be plus 3. It's just how I need the sword.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
I wouldn't know.
I'm not gonna kiss a
That's
gift
fine.
horse in the mouth. Wait. Punch a gift horse in the mouth. That's how it goes, right?
But since you are not a fiend, you do get disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay,
With this, if you want to do fists and everything else, it's regular.
okay.
That might help because it does magical damage.
And what if I'm raging? Does that even it out?
No.
Damn it. Alright.
Because if I didn't want to be, I wanted to be a little coy and say no to mimic, but if you would have been not really cursed, you would just been dealt like half your movement speed if you took this, and you failed your save.
It's it's not designed for normal mortal creatures, admittedly. So it's not ideal, but it's something, and it might be
But
more
it's
effective.
it's all magical. So if you ever fight a fucking thing that's immune to fucking or resistant to like damage, regular damage,
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're gonna need. My stuff is probably not gonna work super well against a very powerful creature. If this magic is as powerful as you're both saying you sense that it is, we're a little bone.
Maybe literally in this sense, because it's. You said it was a necromancer,
Yes.
so yeah, quite literally, bones might be involved.
Gross. The fact that you have a stupid smile with that.
So Alyssa thought she was making a joke. Like I said, she's not around people very much, so.
Oh God! All right, you just freak me out. I don't like it. I thought I was weird, but that's all right. Just kind of like grab the sword, and I'm just gonna keep looking. I'm just gonna start
Just
looking
give
at
her-
it.
I just gave her a present.
Yeah, you did give me a present. You're right,
She's,
and I'm sorry.
You're supposed to be invisible.
do-
Maybe go back to being invisible.
Yeah. Okay.
so what are you guys doing?
I guess I'm gonna find something to swing at.
Okay.
I'm
so
I'm gonna turn the corner and try to still like sneak up, and get like a better look at anything if I can.
okay.
There wasn't a lot all the way down the hall, but we can keep moving.
I mean, if you want to go all the way down the hall, you can.
I'll go all
I
the way
just
down the
need-
hall.
I just need who's going first. Who's in front?
Zephyr will go first since he's still invisible.
All right. Give me a perception check as you fully enter this church now.
30-20.
Hey,
20? As you kind of peer your head around, you get a sense of what this church looks like. You guys, at the moment where this door leads out to, like this hallway, and to like the fire exit, quote unquote, he said, is right with the altar on the other side, like behind it. As you peer in, you see a dark figure in the middle of a magic circle casting something, you don't know what. You can't really tell that at the moment, but you just see this green energy kind of pulse once, pulse again, and again. And it's almost like these pulses are getting closer and closer together. This just green dusting magic.
Can Talissa roll like a perception check to see if there's anything, like any sort of like magic items or something that are contributing to this in the
Yeah.
room? I got a 13.
13, you can't really tell at the moment.
But what you do see with that is what I was about to say is you just see a body in front of this person. The body is shriveled. It looks disgusting. You know what the fuck happened, and it looks like he is trying to do something to this body. You don't know if he's trying to raise it dead or anything. You have no idea.
And we don't see any other creatures moving around.
All you see is him.
Talissa bonus action curses him and releases an arrow, casting Enfeebling Strike.
Okay.
Actually, I can't do that. I'm gonna bonus action curse, Hexblade's curse, and attack from hiding. Do I get advantage because he's focused on something?
Yes.
It's gonna be a 25 to hit.
It's gonna hit.
Okay. Uh, 12 damage, 3 of which is magic.
Okay. Everybody roll initiative.
23.
21.
There's 21.
I really should have
Definitely.
announced my intentions. He got a 14.
14. See what our mystery man got.
I should have announced my intentions and coordinated an attack.
Yikes! He got a fucking nat 20.
God damn
Wolf is first. Okay. So as you like, kind of not really jump around this corner, but just kind of like knock an arrow, lean, and just shoot. It hits him right in the shoulder, and he just looks back at you very slowly, breaks the arrow in his shoulder, and he's just gonna cast. He's gonna cast Phantasmal Killer. So, target creature must you make a Wisdom saving throw to beat a 16.
It's a D8. Don't want to roll that. Fuck. I don't beat it. Ow.
All right. So, what is Talissa's worst fear?
Talissa was abandoned as a child. So I think her worst fear is probably like being a kid again, just all alone in like a burning house.
So, all of a sudden, your vision kind of darkens for a second. All of a sudden, you are back when you were a kid. The house is burning. You have no idea where anybody is, and you just take off running. You are frightened for the duration. At the end of each turn, you can. Stupid fears, blah blah blah. Frightened at the end of each target's turns before the spell ends. The target must succeed on wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage. So each turn, you have to make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Do you have any responses to that or no?
I don't think so.
So you are frightened at the moment, and all you see in front of you at the moment is just the house when you were a child.
Okay.
But that's his turn. As it goes to your turn, actually.
Do I get a? So I have to. I assume I have to take my movement away,
You have to take your movement away.
and then can I try and break out at the end of the turn?
Make a wisdom saving throw. I gotta be the 16.
I got a 9 again. Been rolling
you-
really good up to this point.
So you take 4d10 psychic damage.
No, I don't. You're lying.
Yes, you do.
Nope, that's fake news.
9, 10, 13. You take 18 psychic damage.
Fucking sick, dude.
As that's your full turn. Goes to Miss Ferris. As all you see is Talissa just sweating bullets, and then all of a sudden she just takes off running.
I just kind of like turn and look like, all right, well, I guess we're on our own then. We've already initiated, but are we still invisible?
You two
Until
are.
you attack.
All right, well then I'm gonna hold my action and see what happens right now. Now that she ran away. And he doesn't know
Okay.
that we're there.
Alright, Zephyr, I guess then you're up.
Casting Cloud of Daggers at him. Kind of like so that he's right on the edge of it, and it's between us and him.
A stealth check real quick.
See if you can do it kind of sneakily without him noticing.
10.
So, right as you go to cast it, you see him, and he turns and stares directly at you, and he, as a reaction, he's just gonna counterspell it.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's his turn. That's your turn, Zephyr, unless you want to take your movement.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna just back away a little bit, kind of behind Miss Ferris.
All right. Goes to his turn now. As
Oh, Miss Ferris held her action. Sorry.
yeah, she held her action. Unless Miss Ferris, you want to take your action right now.
Yeah, right. I guess I should. You already threw the... We've already attacked him at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay. So, I'm going to take a swing with this sword, I guess. And that is... 16.
That's gonna hit.
Sweet. 1d10.
Plus 3.
So 7 plus 3, so that's 10 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my what am as a bonus action, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do second wind, and I'm gonna get some of my health back.
Okay. Roll that.
So
You did get health back with the short rest. Or you should have if you hit the short rest button.
I did.
Okay, then
No, that's all
if
right.
that's what you got. You probably took a lot of damage. You took a lot of
Yeah.
damage in the first fight.
So 8 back.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's better than nothing. Okay, cool.
Very true.
All right, excellent. That's good. That's my turn now.
Okay. Goes up to the figure's turn as Miss Ferris, you are very up close to him now, so you can walk up and hit him. You see a elf, a very dark elf, with like you just look into his eyes, you just see pain and rage, and that's all you can feel from this guy. Is like you can tell something happened to him. He is like not talking, like almost barely breathing. It feels like to you, like you don't see his chest moving much,
Tortured soul.
and he just doesn't look good. As he's going to cast Misty Step and just van you from in front of you, and
Okay.
just appear behind Zephyr.
Oh God, it's creepy.
As he just all of a sudden just manifests a sword in his hand, and Zephyr with his sword. What's your AC, Zephyr?
12.
12, he gets a 17. It's gonna be 1d6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 necrotic damage. So 9 damage total. And that's his turn. Talissa, you're taking that full movement. You are probably
Can I second wind? Like in my fear, just try to like get out of, or just like try and heal myself with the second wind.
well. The whole thing is about moving away. So unless you break it,
I can second wind as a bonus action though. So like, that's my full. Like if I use my full action dash,
okay.
am I too afraid to try and like save myself? I think
Give me a roll first.
I failed the
it-
roll.
What'd you get though?
A 6.
A 6? I would say you're afraid. I would say if you got over a 10 but still failed, then yeah, you would be able to do a second win.
Like, I mean, what has happened to my dice? Guys, come on.
It's another 4d10 psychic damage.
This isn't concentration. Like it didn't fail a concentration check when Daisy did 10 damage to it.
Nope.
Guys, can you
Nope.
please?
7. I rolled shitty though. 11 damage.
Still standing.
11 damage. That's your full turn. Miss Ferris, you're up.
All right. What do I want to use? I mean,
Everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Kill.
I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna use that sword because I like the plus 10 there.
You still have to roll with disadvantage though.
You know what? I'm gonna swap out for my great axe.
Okay.
No, I changed my mind. 'Cause it's not gonna do anything that way. So I'd rather take the disadvantage because at least it'll do something. Okay. So I got a nat 1 and an 18.
So behind. Sorry.
It's
This is
fine.
weird.
You know, I've come to accept it as this is just what's gonna happen.
So since he is behind Zephyr, you're actually gonna hit Zephyr. So roll your damage.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. It's 13.
Take 13 Zephyr.
He actually takes 15 because plus 2
Yeah,
for
because it's
rage.
plus
Plus
2
3.
from the rage.
Oh god damn. So you take 15 damage, Zephyr. That brings us to anything else, Miss Ferris?
No.
Alright. Zephyr, it's your go.
Okay, he needs to make a con save. I'm casting Thunderclap.
He got a 12.
He fails.
Let's
So
go.
13. Means that he takes 2d6 thunder damage. Nine thunder damage.
Come on, rolling that one on a concentration check.
Got a nat 20.
That's the opposite.
It's not what anybody wanted.
Alright. Anything else, Zephyr?
I do have some of those healing potions that we've been storing up for the past couple weeks. I
I think
think
they're yeah, I think they're
it's
2d4.
2d4.
Yeah. All right.
I get five back.
Nice. It's gonna be his turn. Let's see what he wants to do.
Wants to surrender.
I don't think that's happened.
I think it is. I think it should be.
I agree.
Realizes the error of his ways.
It just completely changes everything.
All right. This is what's gonna happen. He's gonna cast Scorching Ray.
Oh,
Oh shit!
At a second level spell slot.
Did he just jump out of your arms?
He jumped out of my arms and like slipped off the armrest of my chair and
Yeah.
fucking fell.
Alright, so he's gonna make 2 at Miss Ferris and 1 at Zephyr.
Why not have him mix all 3 at himself?
So the 2 at Miss Ferris are gonna be, one's gonna be a 17, the other's gonna be a 15.
My AC is 15.
Zephyr is 12. See Zephyr?
my AC is 12.
Jesus. Alright. Catching the second level spell slot. So it's 2d6. Alright, so 4d6 at Miss Ferris. $14 fire damage at Miss Ferris.
Great.
Oh shit, I messed that up, but I'm not gonna take that back, that'd be unfair. It should be 4 rays, because I'm casting at 2nd level. But I fucked up.
Nah. He tried to hit Talissa with one, but missed.
I'm not gonna fucking do the 4th way. I already rolled. the
Yeah, he
shit
tried to
for it.
hit Talissa with one and missed.
Sure, yeah. All the way outside. 6 damage to you, Zephyr. Fire damage.
6, you said?
Do you half that from tiefling shit?
Is he a tiefling?
I'm not tiefling.
I thought you were a
Genasi.
tiefling.
No, Air Genasi.
Alright. So, Talissa, you're up. Full movement in action. You're getting pretty fucked away at this point.
It's gonna be a 12 on a wisdom save. I'm gonna guess that doesn't succeed.
Nope.
I had 5 hit points.
Yeah, I think you go down. Because I still rolled bad, but I still got a 10.
That sucks. I'm sorry, guys. You should, out of character. Guys should probably.
Alright, so Miss Ferris is down. Or not Miss Ferris, Talissa's down. Miss Ferris, you're up.
Fucking cool character concept too.
I mean, I'm kind of about abandoning ship at this point. Because I feel like nothing good is gonna come of this, but I don't want to go through all this work to die to some magical douchebag. Alright, what are we doing?
It's kind of up to you at this point.
You too.
I don't want it to be up to me. Zephyr!
I got myself killed, so
I say we pick her up and
She is
so
90
far away
feet
from you
away
guys.
outside.
oh. Alright.
Because your movement's 30 feet, right, Mimic?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is 90 feet away outside. You don't know what direction she bolted off into.
Great. That's cool. All right. Well, I kind of look over at Zephyr like, what do we do? I, 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 I have nothing else to fight with except for this thing. As I'm like holding up the sword, like the magic is too strong. My strength isn't gonna help us. He keeps doing that.
Yeah, I'm kind of hurting over here, so I'm all for leaving.
Okay. So do we just like go invisible and leave again?
I can't do that anymore. I'm all out of magic slots.
What? Okay. All right. Magic is dumb. You guys can't like just make it happen. Like I don't have I like see like look at this knife. See? I can take it out unlimited
You
amount
guys
of
are
fucking
currently
times.
facing down a necromancer. I don't think this is the time for that conversation.
It's true. All right. Can we go? Can we just leave? Can we run away?
You can
Well,
try.
Both of your guys' warlock patrons, like, get the fuck out of there!
Yeah.
You
all right,
fucking
let's-
morons! Leave! Run!
so I'm gonna turn around and run. And hope that nothing bad happens. I have a giant axe. May
So
help
which
me.
way are you running back into the hallway where he currently is, standing pretty much because he's behind Zephyr, or are you running out of the front of the church?
I mean, I want to run away from him. That would be ideal. So I guess I'm gonna leave the other way, not the way where he is.
Okay. Are you in a terrified run, just kind of gonna go walk the magic circle that he is, because the magic circle is pretty much like the aisle that where the are. His magic circle's right in the middle.
All right. Is it like one of those where I can only go through the middle? There's no like outer
There
way
is
for me to.
there, but I'm just wondering how you're gonna do it.
I have no idea. I didn't know that that was something I was gonna have to think about.
Make up your fuck, but just do it. Do something.
I'm doing. I'm trying to leave. I don't know how I'm supposed to leave. He keeps adding things for me to figure out.
I set this up before. It's a magic circle on the ground in the middle of this church.
I'm going to avoid the magic circle because nothing good happens in the magic circle.
So it's gonna take you probably about a turn and a half to get out of this church then, if you're gonna
Okay.
go all the way around.
Well, what happens if I run through it?
You'll have to
the
find
only way to
out.
know that is to try it.
Well, that doesn't. I don't like the smirk on your face play, okay? I don't like how that works because nothing good's going to happen. I'm going around. You can go through the middle. I don't care.
All right.
I don't want to
Oh,
die.
oh.
I just don't want to die. I'm going the other way. I'll use my full amount of movement, and that's what I'm doing.
All right. So you're gonna take your 60 feet of movement. He does get an opportunity of attack.
It's
If he's on the
fine.
other side of... I guess, nah, she ran up and attacked.
She attacked him, and she's in 5 feet.
Yeah.
He gets a 15.
Alright, cool. That's my AC. Yeah.
Only 6 damage, and
Hmm.
6 plus 2.
So 8 total.
6 is physical damage, and 2 is necrotic.
So the 6 is halved, so 5 total.
So that's your turn. Zephyr, what you doing, buddy?
I'm taking my disengage action
All right.
and running away the 30 feet that I can get with my bonus action.
With your movement.
So 15 feet.
Well, yeah, with my movement. Yeah.
So 15 feet movement would put you pretty much in the middle of the church, I would say.
He's got
church is
30.
pretty
He's
big.
got 30 feet of movement after disengage.
I thought disengage was half the movement.
No, disengage is your action, then you still have your full movement.
Which are you gonna go around the magic circle, or are you gonna go through it?
Well, actually, I have a plan. I want to see if there's any holes in the roof that I can get out of.
There's a hole like right above where you kind of are.
Okay. So that's I'm gonna go like kind of just back away from him, trying to avoid the magic circle,
Okay.
and that's gonna be my turn, because that's all I can do.
So you move 30 feet away. That's what's actually his turn first. So Miss Ferris is barely out of the church since she used her full action to sprint out of there. And Zephyr is not far away. What is he going to do? He's going to cast. What does he want to cast? It's a fucking question. He's gonna look at Zephyr. Zephyr, I'm gonna need to make you. Oh my god, English hard. You're gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, brain. Be
You gotta
so
beat
smart.
a 16.
Does a nat 20 beat that?
Yes, it does. Alright, never fucking mind. I guess that's not gonna fucking work. So yeah, nothing happens. And he's just gonna slowly walk towards you. And that's his turn. Death saving throw. Alyssa.
It's a pass.
Okay.
15.
Miss Ferris, what you doing?
I'm gonna get the rest of the way out.
Okay.
Ow.
Make a stealth check real quick.
Let's see if I can do that. Hold on. And that's a big no. I got a 2.
Right as you notice, the fiend, one of the last two, comes out from like across the street of a house and just stares at you. That's your turn.
Cool.
Cause you're still moving your full movement.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. Okay. Zephyr, what you doing?
Casting levitate on myself and yeeting myself out the hole in the roof.
All right. What's levitate do? It's like
So all it says is you can cast levitate. Oh, probably because I'm looking at it. Levitate. One creature or loose object of your choice that you can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet and remains suspended in the air for the duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. Unwilling creatures, yeah, I'm willing.
20 feet. 20 feet.
The target can move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object.
Okay. Yeah, I will say you probably just cast levitate and like jump, propel
Yep.
yourself up. I will say you just barely make it on top of the roof. And then I would say it's not flying speed, so it's kind of hard to calculate.
Well, it says I can move 20 feet in any direction.
Okay.
So he's
that'll
got
be your
10 feet of
move.
movement left.
You got like 10 feet of movement left. So, are you gonna go towards the back of the church where Talissa is down, or are you gonna go to the front where Miss Ferris is?
I'm going to go towards the back of the church.
Leave me.
All right. It's your turn. The elf is up. Elf is just gonna cast Misty Step again and appear. How far is Misty Step?
30.
He's gonna cast Misty Step and just teleport on top of the roof with you, Zephyr. But I will say he didn't notice you running towards the back and thought you were gonna be running towards the front, and he doesn't have any movement left when his Misty Step because he assumed you were gonna be towards the front, so he teleported further towards the front. That's his turn. Talissa, another death save.
It's another pass. 16.
Nice. Miss Paris.
Yeah.
What you doing?
All right. So now the creature's across the street. Does he definitely see me or?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not like I could hide from him. He definitely sees me.
Like he looks
Alright.
like he was just kind of like patrolling, and then you ran out of the church, and he just locked eyes with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna unlock eyes because that's a bad idea. I guess I could try and move away, but he's definitely gonna try and attack me. But I'm still gonna attempt to stay disengaged. See if maybe I could just back away.
Well, he's not
And-
like next to you at the moment.
Yeah, not next to me, but
You're-
he's
I'm not gonna say anything.
yeah. I'm just gonna.
So you're gonna slowly back away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm. Hold on. Let's see.
So you want to towards the church.
No, I'm not gonna go back into the church. I'm just not. I'm gonna kind of just run to the. What do you call it? I'm gonna just turn around, kind of go around the building, and then run away. The opposite direction of where the creature is.
Okay. So let's say the creature's to the right. You're trying to go to the left.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Jesus Christ, Rex. I'm going the opposite direction of the creature. Just whatever that direction is, I'm going the opposite way of it.
When you say backing up, to me that means you're trying to like go back towards the church.
Okay.
Zephyr, you're up.
All right. Does the dude see me on top of the church yet, or?
Yeah. Yeah. He was
Okay.
just trying to like assume, like kind of like predict where you're gonna go, and he failed at predicting.
All right. So I'm just gonna book it as much as I can away from him.
Does levitate probably gives you like feather fall kind of effect. So you run. Do you want to like kind of like jump off of the church?
Yes.
So you jump off the church. You land safely because you have fucking levitate on. Actually,
I think
Shit,
just
you
being an
probably-
air genasi makes me able to do it.
actually, since you have levitate on, the moment you kind of jump off the church, you're just gonna keep going forward in the air. So I would say you're probably like 15 feet, suspended in the air by the end of your turn, like 25 feet above the ground. If you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Goes to the elf's turn. He's going to just walk to the edge, or just before the edge. You can't reach the edge fully. Just cast Scorching Ray at you. All three fucking beams at you. Ooh. Nice. One's gonna be a 5, and the other is gonna be a 10. And one's gonna be a fucking 5. Oh my god.
Yay.
Alright. That's his turn.
Everything misses.
Talissa.
Alright.
Stuff save. If you succeed.
It's another 16. I passed.
Alright, you are stable but still down. It's Ferris, you're up.
Okay, sorry. I'm running away currently. Just gonna keep running the fuck away. I mean, unless it's gonna chase me.
We'll find out this turn, won't we?
Yeah, we will. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm still staying disengaged. I don't want to engage. I'm running away.
Are you gonna take your full movement action and keep running, or are you just gonna take your 30?
No, I'm gonna take my full. I want to get the fuck away, as far away as possible.
Okay. It's your turn. The creature's gonna go. The fiend is gonna go.
You
Just
gave
go
it a
against
name.
you. What?
You gave it a name.
The fiend.
Oh, a fiend. I thought you gave it like a different name. I'm sorry. Never mind.
So the fiend's gonna go. He's just gonna take off flying at you. His move speed is 60 feet. I would say you're probably like 80 feet. Um, that's its turn. Doesn't have any spells or anything, luckily. Zephyr, you're up.
You're muted.
You're muted.
So now I'm kind of just floating in the air and
And you have nothing to hold
nothing to
on
grab onto or push off of. So and I was wrong. Being an air genasi doesn't give me like feather fall or anything.
I mean, I'm assuming levitation is like a concentration spell.
Yes, it is.
You could stop the spell, and I will say, since you are an air genasi, it's kind of stupid you don't have feather fall.
You can probably get back to the ground safely. Like,
You would. I was gonna say you're just not gonna take any damage if you fall.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna break concentration on the spell
Okay.
but
and just kind of run the opposite direction of where I watched the thing fly off to.
So you're kind of just waiting to see what he does.
Well, I saw he flew after Miss Faris, right?
different things.
So the fiend is chasing Miss Ferris, the creature that you guys fought before.
Oh, okay.
He
And the other guy's still on the roof.
Yeah, the necromancer is just kind of staring at you as you fall. He's still on the roof.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take off running away from the church, trying to find any kind of cover, hiding place that I can find.
Goes to the elf's turn. He's out of second level spell slots. What do we want to do? As you start running away, he's going to use his last 4th level spell slot and just fucking scorching ray your ass to death, hopefully. So, scorching ray is a 2nd level spell. Casting at a 4th. So it's gonna be 5 beams at you. 2 of those miss. One's gonna be a 13, the other's gonna be a 22.
Those both hit.
The last one is gonna be a nat 20.
Can it not be though? Like, what if, for sake of argument, it wasn't?
But it is a nat 20.
Like,
Or
can we
if it was
pretend?
like a nat 1?
This is tabletop game. We could pretend.
I like pretending.
I like killing
You roll
people.
all ones on the damage.
I got 8 on the first damage, 7 on the second, and 3 on the third. So
18 total.
yeah, 18 total.
And Zephyr is down.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's the elf's turn. Miss Talissa.
I can't tell
You
anything.
Can't do anything.
Can I like
Uh,
roll to try and get up?
yeah. If you roll a nat 20.
No.
Okay. Miss Ferris, what you doing?
All right. So if I ran around where am I like really far away? I mean, the thing is chasing me, right? So I can't really go back and try and get anybody.
And I would say you're like 200 feet at this point from them. They're on the.
Well, yeah, I mean,
They're in the
yeah,
back of the church.
I've been running for a while. Is the thing still chasing me though?
Yep.
Great. Cool. So I'm going to just, I guess I'm going to take another 30 feet and then see if there's still no place to hide, is there?
I mean, you can duck into buildings. It's really the only thing.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, if I'm that far ahead, then I guess I'm gonna try and duck around, see if maybe I could stay hidden long enough that maybe it'll go past me.
All right, give me a stealth check.
19.
Nice. Fuck yeah. All right, that's your turn. To the creature. For the sake of this, we'll say he flies right past you.
Nice.
And then looking for you, doesn't find you. Zephyr, first.
4.
What? The elf's turn. The elf is just gonna make its way back off of the roof of the church. He's only gonna get to the bottom of the church, and that's just gonna be his full movement. And that's gonna be his turn. Unless you want to do another roll to see if you can get up.
Why not? So 11.
Nope. Miss Ferris, what you doing? You are effectively.
I'm hidden. Okay, so I watched it go past me, so now I'm going to Can I see where Zephyr is outside? Like where he
No.
fell and where she fell? I have no idea where they are.
So you are like,
I probably don't even know that it happened.
you have no idea what's happening. You
No.
just booked it out of there.
Yeah, no,
You have no idea if Zephyr's safe, if Talissa's safe. All you know is you were getting out of dodge.
yeah, I got the fuck away and it flew away from me. So, yeah. I mean, I feel bad for Zephyr. I didn't really know the other chick, but,
Should have been really cool. She got like 2 more levels. Sorry.
so I'm just gonna, excuse me, just gonna hang out. I'm gonna hide. I'm just gonna use my action to hide.
Okay. We're just gonna keep your stealth roll from last time. Zephyr, second death roll.
17.
That's one pass. Nice.
Ace.
And I'm going to use Defy Death. So it says, once per long rest, you can regain 1d8 plus 2 HP when you succeed on a death saving throw or when you stabilize a creature with Spare the Dying.
Fuck yeah. Do it up.
Nice.
That was 1d8. That's a d10. Nice. So I get back 10 HP.
Hell yeah.
Leave me. Let me die. I deserve it.
That's your full action. Any movement?
I'm thinking because this guy is probably still watching me, I'm just going to keep laying there, playing dead.
Okay. It goes to his turn. I'm gonna make him have a perception check. Let's see if he notices that magic. I'm sorry. He's gonna walk up to you.
Wait, let him roll a deception check. See if you can get a nat 20.
Yeah.
Come on.
Roll a deception check.
Come on.
I rolled. If you beat a 15, that's what I rolled.
Just a flat deception check, or with my modifier?
With your modifier.
With your modifier.
Come on.
Got a 7.
No.
He's gonna walk up to you. Kneel down, and you actually hear it for the first time. He actually speaks. He's like, "I will see you soon, my wife." Just gonna stab you with his sword. It's gonna be an 18 to hit. And it's gonna be 6 damage, 3 physical, 3 necrotic.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Yeah.
His turn. Talissa, if you want to roll again, you can.
Mm-hmm. Whose turn is it next?
Miss Ferris, you're up.
I mean, I'm pretty useless here. I'm not going back in there. So
All right. Do you want to run away though?
I want to, yeah. I want to just, now that I know that I successfully hid and I'm not going to get checked.
So effectively, you're going to be out of combat then.
Okay.
If you're going to keep running away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to run away because I don't really know. I'm going to get fucked up with this, and no. Nope. Miss Forrest doesn't want to die, so not going to do it.
So you're effectively out of combat running. Zephyr, what you doing?
Um. Probably dying again. I have nothing that is going to save me.
Give me a Arcana check.
Here I go again. 6.
Alright. You try to ask for your patron's help, and he doesn't answer you. Well, he probably answers you. He just gives you a fucking stupid ass response.
You up for a dice game there, man? You wanna
Actually, if you want to play a dice game, you can. I mean, it'll be in your own mind, obviously, at this moment, but
Sure.
Zephyr
Get me out
feels
of the situation.
time stop. Where the fuck's my D6 bag? All right. So same deal as last time, which was each of you are gonna roll 2d6. That's your hand.
Mimic, I'll let you roll it because you kind of control this dude.
Throw away a dice. It's a 2, a 1, and a 4. The first 3. The next one's a 6. And then another 2. And the goal is to make the best 5 card. A hand, basically. Oh, Zephyr. I might be getting my fucking payback finally.
Right, so you rolled.
I got numbers on the die. The 5 community cards are a 2, 1, 4, 6, 2.
And like
so
I
I
said,
have.
you roll for him also, since you control.
Yeah, I got my hand.
Okay.
I got 2 pairs.
I have to look up poker hands real quick.
Well, 3 of a kind. There's a straight beats a 2 pair, or a pair. A 2 beats a pair beats a like anything. Pair is just little. 2 pair. A straight beats a pair. A 2 pair beats a straight. I believe. Poker's fucking confusing.
All right. So straight is better than the 2 pair.
Oh, that's how it goes. Okay.
You just hear laughing, Zephyr. Guess it's time for me to fucking collect. See you soon, buddy. Yeah, 2 through 6 straight.
I was
Damn.
missing the 3.
Damn.
So what does that mean for
It means Zephyr's not getting any help from
Okay.
his patrons, but he could still like disengage and move.
Yeah.
I guess.
So what you doing, Zephyr? As time kind of resumes for you.
I'm gonna disengage and run as far as I can from this guy.
That's 30 feet away.
Hopefully finding something that I can like tuck myself behind,
I
like
mean,
out of his sight.
Clearly watching you run away, but yeah.
Well, if I'm running like into a forest or into a town where
Oh
there's
yeah. He'll have disadvantage if you try to spell attack you.
well, my idea is one of my traits is I can cast disguise self. Is it disguise self or blah blah? Yeah, I can cast disguise self at will.
Okay. What would you disguise yourself as?
I would try to like kind of get behind a building or something and disguise myself as a bush or something. Like I'd still have like the shape of a human, but enough to be or the shape of Genasi rather, but with the physical characteristics of a tree or a bush or something that would hopefully confuse him
Okay.
into thinking I just like turned a corner and disappeared.
I'm just reading disguise self to see if you can even change yourself into.
You could change yourself into a different looking corpse, maybe.
Yeah, you can't change yourself into looking to like a bush or in like an inanimate object,
Okay,
but you can make
so
yourself
yeah,
look
I'll try
thinner.
to make myself look like one of the dead in town and just like flop myself on the ground and
Okay, make
again
me
play dead.
a deception check with advantage. And we'll just use that or when he walks by.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, yeah, that's better. 14.
Okay. It's gonna be your turn. It's gonna be Elf's turn next. The elf is just gonna like, not really like any rush to like do anything. So he's just kind of like walking to where you were. He's gonna pass by you. Make a perception check. That is fucking awful. He gets a fucking 2. Fucking that 1 right there, boy. Doesn't notice you. He just keeps. That's his turn. Talissa, if you want to try to do anything, try to get up. You can roll.
Why not? Guess what?
No.
I rolled another 10.
Ferris is out of combat. I would say she's pretty much almost halfway out at this point. Daisy, are you still here?
I think she sounds like she had to go.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'll say she's out. Zephyr, he has walked past you and doesn't seem to pay any attention to this dead corpse. What are you doing?
Think I'm just gonna keep playing dead until I know I'm safe.
Okay. All right. Give me a deception check with advantage.
That would be a 22.
Very nice. I'm just gonna keep walking around this area looking for you. He's gonna make a perception check. Doesn't see you. Talissa, if you want to keep trying, you can.
One more time. I got a 15.
Okay.
I think
Zephyr.
Talissa gives up on life. It's a good character idea, right, Clark?
I'm going to try something. Going to kind of sneakily cast Eldritch Blast off in like a random direction, like as far away as I can possibly get it, so 120 feet,
Okay.
just at a random object.
Okay. And you don't really have to make a spell attack or anything. I mean, there's enough trees. I would just say make an Arcana check, to see if you can do it as far away as you can, and hit a tree.
I rolled a nat 20.
All right, you can honestly just with a nat 20, I will say you get it 200 like 50 feet away. With 250 feet, he hears it and instantly starts slowly walking toward that. That's your turn. The elf is just gonna take his full action and movement, so 60 feet away from you, or your general area, to go investigate that sound. It's gonna be his turn. Alyssa, you give up on life. You're fully dead.
I mean, I don't think I think I'm still like stable, but I think stopped fighting at this
Okay.
point. If I keep rolling, I'm eventually gonna get a nat 20, right?
I was gonna say, if you want to keep rolling, you can.
I don't actually know if that's true. Like, I understand infinite law of probabilities, but like that's heavily weighted against me.
There's nothing wrong with trying, though.
Yeah, Talissa's hanging on, but is
Okay. All right,
is
Zephyr, what you doing?
realizing maybe a character with healing spells might have been a better choice.
Right, as soon as I see that he's gone to investigate, see that he's hopefully far enough away, Zephyr is going to get up and just book it as far as possible away from this thing.
Okay. Just so this doesn't have to be like another thing with like daisies and we just playing each round how far to get away. We're gonna roll a d20. All right. If I get higher, he's gonna notice you, and we're gonna do a little chase scene.
Mm-hmm.
If you get higher, you are safe and out of combat. You can still be in combat if you want to get Talissa out.
Don't do that.
But that is up to you after you know your decision and what you get. All right.
Okay,
Come on, play.
What'd you get?
19.
Got a 9.
Yay!
All right. So we are effectively out of combat. It is your choice if you want to go get Talissa or not.
No.
All right.
Zephyr wants his own life.
Give me a stealth check, technically. And this would be the last check of this session.
Plus 3, so that's 18.
All right, perfect. You can fully sneak out of this place, undetected by the fiends or the elf. And I killed one of you.
I'm not dead yet.
All right. So how about this?
We can leave it up for future sessions. I think that's where we'll end our session, right? Nobody died, guys. Everything was great.
He slowly walks back.
Nope. That's where we end our session. Good night. All right, well, that was Idiots Rolling Dice. My name is Mimic the Idiot. I played Talisa Hex for her one and only appearance on Monster Hunters Wanted. I was joined by Daisy Cakes, who played Miss Faris, Played a Fool, who played Zephyr, and our Dungeon Master was Vex tonight, and he was kind of a fucking prick. Yeah. That's gonna be it for us today. Hopefully next week we'll be back with the main campaign. Follow us on socials. The links to those are in the description, probably. Adios.